pop some barrels, but...
Yeah, but they kill you, man.
Is this also taken? The bridge?
It is. Everything is taken.
Okay. I mean, Cooler knows it's gonna end there, probably.
The thing is, maybe it doesn't...
Can you make a wide rotation through this side?
Exactly, like, we could try to make a rotation thermal. But
why would
we
do
can
that?
still move there to take the zone, mainly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tight.
No, I think we maybe try to get kills from here. And we move in, we can maybe TP late on top of the building.
I think his zone can be like full sorting, you know?
And in that case we need to rotate around, but right now we don't think we can do a
我
lot.
都初頭諗住翻嚟打嘅，但我見原來歐洲呢邊啱啱開始啊 ，Game Two 就而家。
There's a team
大
on
家
the
見
bridge,
到
so
我
it's
頭
gonna
殼頂上先係
be
Game
to
Two。
go through the show.
咁所以我就唔打幾時都有得打啊 apex。但係比賽唔係幾時都有得睇啊，梗係睇比賽啦。咁當然可能大家係覺得悶嘅。
What about this? The
或
van
者
under.
唔睇開比賽
There's no way with the team on the top and the team on the corner. Two teams in front of us.
歐洲我睇下有冇黐線佬先，好似有黐線佬啊今日。
Super racing.
What we could do is go in the crack and I make I'll take the balloon and make a TP on top.
EMEA 賽區啦。其實呢個網係有齊晒嘅。
So a great opportunity there to listen to the
頭先我哋之前睇嘅就係 APAC 啦，即係亞洲啦 ，OK。Asia 啦，咁 EMEA 就係 Europe 啦，咁有南美同北美啦。咁而家就 EU 係應該有黐線佬。
To see how little caustic we have ever since, you know, the changes in meta and we had the slight nerfs to caustic, but we've still got what 3 in the lobby, I believe, and those caustics are going to be very important for those late game rotations because they can hold success.
除咗大家平時睇慣美國嗰堆。
They might actually get a knock here. They get damage done, and they still are in that totem protection as well. So Hackis is desperately trying to hunt down that player that he did the damage to, but a bit of a slippery pickle managed to disappear. And then they're going to have to be very, very careful and back up because even though it's great to have the protection, the death protection of the totem, you've still got to be careful of that third party that might be able to get a knock on your team. And then Alliance would very much be on the back foot. They've realised that, they've recognised the situation.
咁所以就通常大家都瞓晒，我會睇嘅，通常我會睇嘅。
Not quite being executed perfectly here
通常大家都瞓晒，因為完嘅時候。 有時候去到朝8點幾9點㗎，咁亦都有時係朝早，即係香港嘅朝早開，一時時有睇時間。
Alliance are going to be patient here. They are just going to wait again. Just ensure that they don't get caught out from any other teams, maybe rotating behind them. But they should be okay. They do have eyes on Fenerbahce. After an incredible game 1 Fenerbahce, maybe this is going to be difficult for them because they're also getting charge rifle across the map. You can see Pinky Finky getting taken down to just his HP.
I mean, for Alliance, you can see they're desperate to push. Every single opportunity they have, they're just thinking KP, and we can work our way in after that. Having a look at that zone as well, a very, very interesting zone for these players to decide on where they want to play, which is, I think we're seeing quite a few teams actually rotating in pretty late. They're not sure if they want to try and get into Sorting Factory, if they want to try and approach from the south, and you heard that from the comms of New Esports when we jumped in as well. And when you have a zone like that, as we see a fight actually going on here, once again involving Alliance, which they finally get the work done for. They will take out Fenerbahce Esports, who came second, of course, in our game number 1. Let's get those armor swaps off and coming under pressure. And this is the difficulty now with 17 squads remaining. As I take a few seconds to call the action that's going on in front of our very eyes. Alliance, yes, they want to play for KP, they want to get aggressive, but now with that zone closing, it becomes more difficult to do with so many teams still alive.
Yeah, and everyone has managed to find them here at least. He's going to be able to heal up. No, he's not, just as the shield dissipates. It's just going to be Hacky who's left on his own now as the Octane, which I guess is a good thing because the Octane can, you know, bounce around, get those banners back if he needs to, but I think it's just going to be a case of trying to rat after they got that KP you were talking of, Mark. It's all well and good being aggressive, looking for those kills, but you have to be well aware of who else could be getting involved in the fight. It's a shame for Alliance, but at least Hackis is still alive and do a job. I'm sure we'll keep up with him and see how he does throughout the rest of this game, Mark.
Yeah, he managed to get the mobile respawn beacon down, and I just wonder if that was a little bit of a distraction, if he's taking a wider berth and maybe going to think about going back for those banners. There were obviously some eyes and some crosshairs being put onto them if he did decide to try and go back. So a little bit of a balancing act of decision-making here for Hackies, how he wants to approach it. Does he want to try and play for placement now that they have a couple of KP on the board? Is he going to try and get his teammates back into the game?
頭先因為日本嗰個即係日本版嘅 Twitch 咧，嗰度就太細聲。而家我又本身將而家美國 Twitch 嗰個校得太大聲，應該而家就聽得好清楚。我贏咗有30萬港紙咯，你當贏咗3萬港紙，差唔多3萬大概3萬港紙。
Yeah,
而家聽唔聽到？聽得好清楚而家應該。
Flavor of the month. They only lost one player. Only had one player get knocked in the fight. Two of them staying alive to get the wipe onto 303 Esports, who will be eliminated from this game number 2. Keep your eyes on that team tracker as well to show you who is.
要俾幾多錢嘅意思係咪？即係要俾幾多錢參加？好似唔使好多錢嘅就報名費。
Still remaining and Gambit Esports now making their rotation in. And it looks like at the moment, oh, this could be bad news here for Hardeki. Tried to get that portal down, and now he's found himself in a little bit of a sticky situation as he was trying to portal inside of that building. And that Octane just at the last second managed to sneak in.
正常係可以嘅，不過佢有名額嘅。
Once again involved in a fight, they win the fight.
職業賽嚟㗎呢個，唔係自己搞嗰啲比賽啊，職業賽嚟。新手係可以報地區咯，我印象中，但係 ALGS 係職業賽啊。
Yeah, Nessie with a really, really good push. And Nessie, who had a pretty solid game, number 1.
通常喺
they currently sit in the lead.
香港有一隊，但係琴日打咗啦，即係27號打咗啦。香港係唔係打歐洲賽區㗎嘛？香港係打南部亞洲，包括埋澳洲嘅地區賽。 越南啊、新加坡啊，對呢堆咯，台灣都係。台灣、中國、香港、澳門、澳洲、印尼、馬來西亞嗰堆全部都係即係咁樣打。頭先我哋睇嘅就主要係日本同韓國，即係北亞咯，即係北邊嘅亞洲就係韓國入邊。
It's always interesting seeing Hardeki going up against Mandy as well. Two of the
唔係積分賽，佢唔係淨係打一次嘅，佢有而家係季後賽咯，即係 play off 咯而家係。之前有常規賽嘅，計翻再入 play off 咯。打成年嘅差唔多，即係2、3個月打一次㗎啦。而家唔係 World Final 咯。一陣間完咗呢一場，我 show 俾你睇。而家唔係 World Final， 之後先至 World Final。每一個賽區有5隊咯，頭5隊積分最高嘅入 World Final， 好似唔知4隊定5隊。Well, Navi are trying to be offensive at the moment, pushing on to Nessie, who are in that truck. And that's going to be a valuable position to try and hold down. 嗰幾個我都唔係特別識嘅，可能係可能熊仔嗰啲識咯。There's only so many routes to take as Gambit now make their move in as well. They're actually 香港都係香港隊嚟㗎，3個香港人。純香港隊。 As Yuki gets involved, Dell will finish off that kill as well. So Gambit Esports just inching their way into the zone at the moment, but not a lot of room to play with.
Yeah, it was difficult for Scars. They weren't able to escape. That's going to be the full squad wipe for them. So we're not going to see as much success from Scars as we thought we would in the early stages of this tournament, but still plenty of time left as Hacky's still alive. Now has to try and bounce pad away.
哇！做戰靶啊，彈箭。
Team Navi. That's going to be the end of the road.
Valiant
effort to even get to this stage of the game, and this is going to be quite a commanding point. You're completely right, Mark. Just on top of these train tracks, you've got a lot of cover to work with, and you've got a good viewpoint of everyone else who's going to be rotating into this circle.
And Na'Vi looking pretty comfortable at the moment. Third impact underneath Flavor of the Month, who have just made their rotation as well. Flavor of the Month just looking for some KP on the teams that are rotating in late from the north side of World's Edge.
我要睇翻，我唔記得咗。一陣間喺個網度睇翻，我唔記得咗。
We're on board with them a little bit early when they did win that fight in a very, very clean manner. And now we're going to jump back over to Na'Vi, who are holding down, in my opinion, the strongest.
唔係，豪仔係我頂獵嘅 friend 啫。
Jump into their comms now. Let's see what they're thinking.
豪仔係我頂獵嘅 friend 啫。有啊，咪不有啊，有香港隊啊。我之前已經知。不過琴日我唔記得睇，我完全唔記得咗呢件事，我個腦裡面完全冇呢件事啊！琴日唔記得咗喎，其實，因為呢排我都太即係工作上面都即係多咧，我都唔係好記得，我唔記得教，我唔記得寫翻落個 schedule 度係有琴日有比賽睇。通常我會嘅，通常我會嘅，我會寫翻落去個 schedule 啊有比賽睇啊咁樣。
Look here, look here, look here！
係啦，即係最高排位嘅750個亞雙，亞雙最高嘅750個。
I'm holding you. It's one. I knock him. Nice. Nice. All here. Finish this guy. I already ulted.
即係最勁嗰750個。
Platform is watching us. I got a kill. Shoot in CP set. We CP.
唔好話最勁啦，最高分啦 ，OK。最勁唔公平，因為好多大師其實都係頂獵嘅 level， 但係佢哋即係唔花時間打上去啫。所以應該話係最高分嗰750。咁一定唔差咯，係啊，咁梗係啦。本身有頂獵都唔差㗎啦，個能力。係啊，唔渣得去邊先啦？勁過幾倍先啦，首先。首先勁過幾倍先啦，唔使講嘢。
I need the ammo, okay.
I do heavy.
I'm healing.
GP. I'm 1 SP. I'm reloading.
佢 PC 係普遍都係 PC 嘅。我未見到有香港頂獵嘅 console 玩家。
I'm dead. I tried to try bottom one.
可能有啦，但係我唔識咯。即可能有啦，但係我唔識咯。但係至少我印象中係未認識到嘅。
I have TP, just place low. I need to full heal.
Yeah.
普遍都係 PC 啊，其實。
Not sure if I have zone here. No, I don't. I think you... Bro, I think we zipline.
So big plays coming in from Na'Vi here, Dan. They thought they had zone initially, but you could hear in the comms, zone isn't on us. We have to make a move. We have to try and get KP on the board. They did so extremely well. They took down the team that was inside of that snake building, and now they're trying to move up and take the high ground.
They're under pressure from Kick now, and this portal from the Wraith could be very important for them. You heard him saying, I've got it. Just wait 5 seconds and I'll be able to push us somewhere. But they're just pushing into bombardments from everyone right now. Do as much damage, see if you can get more KP, but it looks like Na'Vi are going to be wiped. It's some amazing shots from the Mastiff, but it's only enough to actually see one more KP before they go down.
Yeah, Gavin now moving in, getting involved in some fights, and all of a sudden, the touch paper has been ignited in game number 2. We're down to just 5 squads now as the Ogre is going to work with Hardeki to win this fight here for Gavin. Down at the moment. Hardeki going to be able to hold the angles though and drop him an armor for when he gets revived as well. Flavor of the Month now making a late rotation in as well. They're going to have some loot to pick up. Down to 4 squads. And now we're going to see a little bit of
POTM 有靚位喎，唔係 FOTM 有靚位喎。
Everyone has a little position to play now. It's about who wants to show their cards first.
Yeah, Gambit in a great spot just below Flavor of the Month. You can see Flavor of the Month having a little peek just to see if they could maybe do some damage and take this position off them.
好似頭先 T1， 好似嗰場 T1 咁。 好似最尾個 Game 8頭先日韓。
Saying how Leo was helping out in that fight for good reason. The most assists throughout the winter circuit is Leo.
AU 係之前咯，佢退咗佢嚴格嚟講，佢唔再打 apex 比賽㗎啦。AU 佢退即係佢冇退出 NRG， 但係佢唔參與 apex 比賽，佢玩 V 字頭嗰隻槍 game 嘅比賽啦。
Yeah, that's not just a tickle. That's more of a scratch and potentially a little.
我唔記得點讀啊 V 字頭，即係CS 勁似 CS 時嘅嗰隻槍 game 咯。咩特警戰壕啊？中文係咩特咩唔知咩戰壕嗰隻咯 A series 啦，即係佢係代表 NRG 就打嗰個比賽，就唔打 apex 比賽。但係佢 Season 2唔係 sorry，Season 3啊，我唔記得 Season 2定 Season 3嘅第一次定唔知第一次啊，第一屆好似唔知第一屆定第二屆嘅 ALGS 係冠軍定 final 啦，下季賽。佢同 D 時同再另外一個，我實際唔記得咗啦。好早期都1年，都成年幾前㗎啦。如果 ACU 打 apex 比賽，雖然 apex 都係出咗兩年多。聽先個四眼仔唔係普 pair 嚟㗎，佢唔係普 pair 嚟，佢只係一個其中一個美國叫做所謂頂獵嘅玩家咯，但係佢唔係普 pair 嚟㗎。ACU 先係普 pair 嘅，即係 ACU 嗰扎先係普 pair。East Timmy 唔係普 pair。好睇翻先，答翻嚟先。香港係琴日，等陣啊，香港。呢度可以睇到啦，香港。拉大啲俾大家睇先。呢度 T-Gas Warriors 係香港隊啊。T-Gas Warriors 啊！喂，咁梗係勁啦，普 pair 嚟嘅大佬，大部分都係普 pair 嚟㗎。嗱，所以你見到咧，嗱有台灣隊啦，有中國隊啦，係啦，有澳洲啦、泰國啦、印尼啦。係啊，主要係呢幾個國家咯。嗱，咁有香港啦，有菲律賓啦，有台灣啦，有 China 啦，有 Indonesia， 有泰國，有新加坡、馬來西亞。係啦 ，country representation。咁但係佢哋琴日打完就喺第18位咯，積分21分排第18。咁最高就係90分咯，我估佢呢度調轉咗。積分90分。咁呢隊係睇下先，呢兩隊係睇翻先。T-Gas Warrior TGW 香港隊啊，我覺得呢個名改得好好啊 ，T-Gas 即係大家都知道呢2年發生咩事啊 ，T-Gas Warrior，you know， 係啊，煙霧彈勇者。一時時咯，有4-5個旁述㗎，佢哋4至6個旁述㗎，佢哋有時會邀請一啲美國。top 嘅apex 嘅玩家去做旁述嘅，即係唔係普 pair，但係佢哋都係即係譬如 Lulu 咪其中一個之前被邀請嘅旁述，即係佢哋唔係，但係官方嘅旁述係6個。It's great to get in the minds of the players, try to figure out exactly what they're thinking. And sorting factory zones are a blast to watch. They're a blast to play. I love those zones. There's a lot of different areas and there's a lot of room for outplays, and we saw that right there in game number 2.
We did indeed. Well, let's take a look at that one more time here and break down as our game number 2 comes to an end, going into our game number 3. Talk to me about how we started things off here, Tom, because Alliance really brought the pain.
Definitely, and Alliance comes through with the experience, and you can see with the Death Totem, the aggressive play is what you want to do. You want to go through and almost be sent.
咁梗係唔會有香港人旁述啦。
If you're able to get the knocks while you're still in little ghost mode, that's even better. So Alliance, yes, they're taking it and they're trying to get aggressive, take these fights. But right now,
如果揾香港人旁述，可能會揾專皮嘅。
Parties are starting to happen. As we take a look at what Bobby was able to do,
不過冇緊煎皮嘅，如果未來搞得更加大嘅話 ，apex 唔係，但係正常好難啊，因為普遍，譬如頭先日韓係都唔係喺 Twitch 度直播，日韓都係喺翻佢日本類似 Twitch 嘅平台上面做一個比賽嘅直播，揾翻日本人做旁述。韓國我未揾到，佢主要授權咗幾個位啫嘛。如果亞洲咧 podcast 嗱，佢最主要係 English podcast、Japan 同埋 Indonesia 咯。咁 Indonesia 都係英文比較多啦。連埋 console 噶啦，即係 PC 加 console 噶啦，佢唔會特別計，唔會特別將佢分開。即係佢唔會搞一個純粹 console 嘅比賽，佢係 PC 加 console 嘅比賽，即係你 console 都可以玩㗎。如果你夠勁啊，即係打到好似 Torres 啊，同埋阿 Dino 咁樣嗰啲咪 OK 咯。
We're excited, and let's take a look at what we've got. So many tweets coming. You guys have been so busy already. Oh, come on,
back.
Cinnamon!
Or she, I don't know. Cinnamon's back though.
They're back. They have a crush on Pathfinder. Oh, she had Kate Sparkling Jacket. You know what? Look at guys. I had to bring the heat. I had to bring the wardrobe heat for this playoff for their EMEA Super Regional. Got excited.
睇下你，其實每個國家都唔同㗎喎。
There you go, Marty the Fozzie. Wow. Okay, these are some guys. I don't know what.
好耐都好難講㗎喎。
Fantastic Twitter handles for sure. Action continues, and yes, it does. Good luck to all the teams.
每個國家對於即係旁述呢一件事都唔同㗎喎。即係香港你一定香港可能你都有。如果正常嚟講，嗱正常啊，我講緊。普遍如果正常一個主持嚟講，你至少都3000到5000蚊一日啦。
3D printed Apex Legends items. What?
That's impressive.
Look at you.
I thought that was a koozie for a second, but then I realized it's an
合理嘅3000到5000蚊一日。如果專業啊，我講緊。
Also, if you can't get an heirloom, build one.
你咪當如果專業旁述係收到3000到5000蚊一日㗎。
Okay, pizza. Okay, now.
足球我唔知啊，因為足球可能你係受薪電視台㗎嘛，即係好似以前林尚義嗰啲咁樣，咁你可能係受薪係 TVB 嘅，咁你專業啲嘅，咁你咪可能真係有5-6千蚊一場咯。咁如果你咁啱，你同佢簽咗係可能成個聯賽你都旁述嘅咁樣，或者好似嗰陣時 TVB 咁世界盃咁旁述，咪可能俾個月薪你，或者逐場計，或者逐個鐘計，呢個就真係唔知啊，即係唔知你裡面點樣丟㗎嘛。但係個基礎你預嘅話，如果一個專業嘅旁述，合理嘅價錢應該係3000到5000蚊一日。因為你唔係淨係旁述嗰日先至有嘢做㗎，你係做旁述之前，你都要做好多準備功夫。即係譬如可能每一隊嘅人嘅名你要記得，佢哋有啲咩特質，即係你要之前溫書做功課㗎嘛，唔係點做旁述啊？即係你唔可以求其噏㗎，唔係求其講就個個都做得㗎嘛旁述。事前資料做功夫係好緊要㗎，所以真係做一個專業旁述係揾到3000到5000蚊基本咯，一日基本咋，真係再專業啲嗰啲又可以揾有1萬過萬一次㗎。
My name is Sebastian Eckertrap. In game I go by Ballon, and this is how you play like a pro. The legend I main is Gibraltar. He's probably one of the strongest character in the current competitive meta. His gun shield makes
同埋始終亞洲嘅電競都未真係好成熟，所以你好難會有埋所謂我哋叫做坊間嘅行業同埋坊間嘅職位咯。
You're so good at this game. So in this clip, we're in a 2v3. My teammate's calling out that one guy is pushing on the right side, so I decide to take the 1v1 because I'm a Gibraltar and I should always have a big advantage in a 1v1 with a Mastiff. After that, I'm peeking with my Mastiff, trying to just deal as much damage as I can, and I end up in a 1v1 where I actually make a mistake by pushing out a bit too aggressive, but luckily I managed to clutch up in the end. So Gibraltar really shines in Mastiff fights because his gun shield.
咁一定唔係啦，黐線。定係槍 game 嚟講，一定 CS 高啦，唔使講啦。如果以槍 game 嚟講，一定 CS 高係最多人。但係 apex 近呢年係越嚟越多人玩係真嘅。連即係 apex 係一隻好得意嘅槍 game 嚟嘅，即係譬如 CS:GO 啊、Call of Duty 啊，你未必好多女仔玩嘅。但係唔知點解 apex 咧係一隻好多女仔都會玩嘅槍 game。知啦，我已經知啦呢個。我啱啱我之前日韓睇完收台嘅時候，其實我撳手機就見到智叔過身。
My message to anyone that wants to go professional in Apex, I would say if you believe you can do it and if you want to do it, you should do it, but you also have to be honest with yourself.
Well, he is teaching us things every day. The first thing, though, Tom, he taught me his gamer tag's pronounced Balong, not Balong, as I definitely pronounced it before. So 100%, and great message about mental health, great instincts when it comes to the Mastiff and those Gibby plays. I mean, awesome. Tom, what did you think of Balong's little tips there he just gave us?
I love it. Everything that was, broken down.
唔係呢個女旁述係佢獨立自己 live 我就冇睇過咯，但係差唔多每一次 ALGS 都係佢嘅。即係美國，即係美國或者歐洲，通常都係佢。
Into my vocabulary because it's so true in terms of getting your landing spot. Getting your routes down, making sure that you have your loot path correctly, because the faster your loot path, the faster you're going to be able to rotate, and you need to get down these rotations so you can figure out what the best rotations are, where you're going to meet resistance, where is it going to be free, and how fast can you move into the zone and kind of find out what type of team you are. Third Impact is the type of team that if they're going to land Epicenter and Survey, we saw in the beginning of game number 2, they went all the way back to Refinery and took a fight back there. That's something that is very common for these teams that land there. Someone that does that in North America, a little team named Complexity, these overall leaderboards.
Here we do indeed, absolutely. Now Totem with a commanding nice 6-point lead up against a number 2 flavor of the month.
停，睇下先，睇下先。
Exactly right. Get 50, next game they have to win. And there we are there. Well, hey, listen, we are going to be heading to our casters for our game number 3. But first, let's take a listen to an important message about mental health.
Hold tight. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Be right back in 3 minutes!
This month is what it comes down to. The last chance qualifiers of the season are upon us.
Super PS 都喺度。
Don't miss back-to-back. Don't miss back.
有黐線佬冇打喎，唔係喎，黐線佬有打喎，有冇打？哦冇，佢冇打。佢係咯，佢係 RIG 嘛，我記得係冇打。佢上次有打啦，黐線佬。咦，佢打緊佢打緊呗。 我記得黐線佬係。係咯，佢係 AUS 㗎嘛。
Up my ass as well if I have to. If that's gonna get you motivated.
Oh no, it's in mod view. Okay, I can't do that. You guys can do it only. Chat city.
係咯。
Oh, mod view. Yeah, I'm in the. Hold on. Let me open another tab for the mod view.
等陣啊，睇返先。
Unban request. Where is unban request?
係咯，3萬蚊 USD 咯，第一名。
I just got echoed 3 times. Oh, did he, Winnie? I was playing Battlefield 5 the other day and he asked me for my Twitch. I just told him it. Good, insta-ban him, piece of shit. Is this the one? No.
係我呢度都度緊時間，因為開翻之後真係忙。應該今日幾號啊？唉，我四應該復活節會有一集雞啄唔斷咯，復活節。係黐線佬係澳洲人嚟噶嘛，係咯，佢係有打㗎，佢係琴日有打㗎，佢係，我就係唔記得咗，所以冇睇到，好嬲啊，係嘛？即係DTB 啊，即係係嘛 PP。好正啊！佢哋用 PP。係咯，就係係咯 ，SKB 嘛，係64分，yeah。我琴日就係唔記得咗睇啊！我唔完全個腦空白咗，唔記得咗琴日係亞洲賽區啊！我然之後我起身嘅時候，我先記得，誒今日好似係日本，我先頭先睇咗日韓。而家就歐洲。而家係 EMEA， 我完全唔記得咗琴日。Prize pool 而家係138000蚊啊 ，USD 啊！都勁啦，其實八弟哋係啊，6000幾蚊嘛，係啊，有 feel 啊，即刻攞咗幾皮嘢啊，即刻攞翻幾皮嘢先，咁樣係啊。
Yeah, flying camels throughout the tournament
have
been really great at 50-50s. They're very confident in their gameplay and their teamwork. Plus, they have a horizon.
唔係，我想問翻香港嗰3個係你識唔識㗎
？Any place with a lot of buildings, like Skyhook. So Horizon is definitely giving them an advantage. They can get to the top of the roof in 1 instant.
係啊，勁啊！我就係勁啊！黐孖筋。對住黐線佬，係咪啊？係咯，我都覺得出奇，我唔知係咪有電競公司即係香港嘅電競公司嘅戰隊出嘅人咯，你明我咩意思？即係可能係即係未必係 exactly。係咯，即係譬如我當啫，我純粹猜測，即係譬如我當好似鍾培生間電競公司下面嗰啲，可能其中有一隊咁樣，係啊，就係因為我就係冇見過佢哋3個個名咯，我頭先都睇咗，邊個嚟㗎咁樣，我就唔知你識唔識咁樣，佢哋3個完全唔識，唔知邊個嚟㗎喎。但我中意佢哋個名咯 ，Tia Gas Warriors 啊，有 feel，叫 Tia Gas Warriors 有 feel。 唔知邊個？唔係你話實際到最後係咪香港人都唔知係咪係即係我意思咁，你香港你有好多唔同國籍嘅人都可以有香港身份證，你可能都係住喺香港，然之後代表香港，你未必 exactly 一定係香港人㗎，即係可能你係印尼或者菲律賓，但係你係香港身份證，即係可能我唔知啊，可能係咁，即係我都唔認為，即係我就係唔知咯，就係究竟生係咪 exactly 係香港人咧？我覺得未必咯，可能係咯，佢淨係掛咗香港係啊，所以我都想揾下佢哋。喂，邊3條友出嚟認頭？出嚟認頭啊！邊3個？即係俾大家識下都好啊！話晒你都代表香港啊！係啊，話晒你都代表香港啊！俾大家識下都，即係我覺得勁唔勁都唔緊要，即係至少你有機會代表嘅話，喂咁你俾大家認識下，即係可能大家都想支持下咁樣，係啊。咁但係你完全冇任何消息，咁真係想支持都支持唔到啊，大佬！理得你勁唔勁先，係咪先？即係最重要係你有呢個開始啊嘛！呢刻贏唔到，咁唔代表未來冇其他再勁啲嘅人參加咁樣，係啊，或者再揾啲再勁啲嘅人去代表香港咁，即係但係至少你要有消息話到俾香港人聽有先得㗎。係啊，所以我都想知佢係邊個，所以我就係睇翻名啊，邊個嚟嘅咧咁樣。我都勁耐都唔知，睇下未來有冇機會知咯。唔係，我覺得唔係香港，即係香港電競係，我覺得唔係廢嘅，只係發展得比較慢啫。但係我覺得可能佢哋都估唔到，其實香港會有一紮人會支持翻香港人。咁我覺得即係譬如好似足球咁啫嘛。咁你足球咁，其實大家中意嘅，其實真係會喺買飛喺旺角大球場睇，或者買飛去大球場睇，即係其實係有人支持噶嘛。係啊，香港係有勁嘅 Peter 噶嘛，其實即係大家係可能都會支持翻，即係你始終有自己地區嘅人去打比賽，大家知嘅，真係有時間嘅、有心嘅都會睇啊嘛。係啊，可能我1蚊都冇嘅，咁我淨係上網去幫你嗌聲加油，咁都係一個支持啊，係咪先？咁你有觀眾，你先至有，即係其實係相輔相成噶嘛。你有觀眾，咁你有比賽，你有比賽，你有觀眾，即係呢件事係相輔相成。但係我唔知你有代表嘅時候，咁我想，即係就算我想支持都支持唔到。即係可能未來我唔知啊，即係可能我 apex 再成熟啲，或者香港唔知過幾多年之後嗰個電競環境再成熟啲嘅時候，咁你可以更加有多啲唔同嘅人去代表香港，係一件好事啊嘛。
And expect Alliance to try and play aggressive, I think, again, for that 3v2 fight. Meanwhile, switching over to Scars, who actually this game, I don't believe dropped over.
係咯，我覺得本身即係你問我嘅話，以我嘅年紀，無論過往我細個籃球、足球，甚至 X game 即係踩板、BMX、拍 call、跳舞，乜都其實根本就唔渣香港啲人，從來都多勁人。我成日都話香港，我成日都話香港根本就好多時候都有勁人，不過唔識啫嘛，大家。係啊，其實係咯，就係咁咯。即係我覺得唔係冇資源添啊，係有資源，但係啲資源唔係擺喺呢度啫。係啊，即係我反而覺得係咁嘅，即係香港政府有錢㗎，即係香港好多有錢㗎，即係香港政府話搞電競搞咗好 Q 耐啦，咁但係我唔俾資源落嚟搞啫嘛，純粹做 show 啫嘛，香港政府係啊，唔係真係真心幫你搞嘛，講真。勁係佢真係勁啊！其實 Kisa 真係勁 ，Kisa 真係勁。所以我間唔少我都話我間唔少喺度所謂偷睇佢，偷睇佢直播我都會睇㗎，真係即係都勁啊！真係支持翻香港人啊嘛，係啊，支持翻香港人啊嘛。 咁都要睇，即係就算我冇訂，即係我冇所謂 Twitch 嘅會員，冇所謂導 link 俾佢，咁你睇或者宣傳都係一個支持翻香港人嘅一個舉動啦。有錢冇錢都幫下手最緊要呢樣嘢。
So I hope they end up doing well in the tournament. Now we're jumping on with flying camels here. We saw them get their kill points earlier on. But can they make it deep into the tournament? Can they secure themselves a high placement, a win, for example?
其實我所以我就話其實大家即係我覺得香港又好，台灣又好，唔係我覺得唔係唔支持翻本地嘅嘢。其實好多時係唔知有本地嘅嘢啫，我覺得好多時候，即係香港人知嘅話，大家都會好努力支，即係可以嘅話都會支持嘅，我覺得大家都好好嘅。
In North America, around my tournament #1. But look at this. Esports find themselves in a fight, and they're actually going to get taken out completely, wiped by NCD. So the team we've been talking about, they play with.
即係你好似運動咁樣，哦，以前細個我哋睇李麗珊。滑浪風帆、黃金寶、踩單車、鄧亞平係香港乒乓波咁樣，咁你都係有報道你先識嗰啲運動員㗎嘛？即係就唔好講電競先啦，即係我講運動咁樣。咁你唔報道嘅，咁我鬼知道你有啲咩香港運動員去參加奧運咩？就等於電競一樣，冇人講冇人 po 嘅話，鬼知香港有呢啲嘢咩？即係我覺得係咁。所以係要有。即係大家知嘅話，就要多啲 share 咯，多啲支持咯。係啊，即係就算啊，我冇份打，我有份睇都開心噶嘛，大佬啊！係啊，唔係話外國一定係最勁嘅，其實係講真，呢個係真嘅。不過真係唔知，即係好似我之前咁，我都唔知啫。其實我知嘅我就會慢慢去睇下咁樣，一樣其實。都係即係好老土咯，都係啲 marketing 嘅嘢啦，係咪？勁老土，都係啲 marketing 嘅嘢咯。即係貨電競啦，我嘅意思。我覺得純粹係外國嗰個電競發展得真係比較成熟，咁所以有好多人會去做到所謂 marketing 宣傳嗰一 part 啫。係啊，我覺得係咁啫。所以我好期待㗎，如果真係有一個比賽可以，即係台港澳聯隊咁樣，即係你有1隊又好，2隊又好，3隊又好，你打美國、歐洲咁樣，其實我覺得係好好睇㗎，真係。係啊，咁冇辦法，始終真係唔好淨係話香港，台灣電競都唔係話真係發展得好成熟。即係認真，即係雖然台灣已經比香港好，但係你話對比可能美國、歐洲或者日韓，其實個電競氣氛都唔係話真係好成熟嘅啫，台灣。係咁所以大部分大家都會認識韓國、日本係純粹只係因為嗰邊因為成熟，咁多公司去做呢樣嘢，咁多宣傳，咁咪大家會知多啲咯。咁你台港澳或者甚至好似馬來西亞、新加坡啊，咁都冇乜宣傳，咁咪冇人知咯。即係我覺得純粹係嗰個行業嗰個整體嗰個成熟度嘅氣氛嘅成熟度。即係所以係有影響嘅。即係相互相成咯，大家又支持多啲咁啊，睇下啲有錢佬搞唔搞咯。咁有錢佬搞，咁你又有觀眾嘅，咁大家咪繼續努力搞，咁咪相輔相成，咪多啲人知，又多啲人睇咯。一定要係咁。冇捷徑啊！喺我心，即係冇捷徑，除非你真係有金主啦。即係你攞幾億出嚟搞咁， 都 OK 咯，係好似鍾培生嗰啲啊，你有幾億咁樣啊？我唔搞其他生意，我想搞電競咁啊。即係嗱，唔好理佢搞得好唔好先，係啊，即係總之會搞咁嘅已經少啦。哇！咁搏啊，使唔使？衝落去，衝落去自殺。
It has been, and Nuggets, Crumpets, and Dolphins, they're keeping their ground. They kept the high ground the whole time. They found the angles that they needed to take out 2 members of Third Impact. And unfortunately, Third Impact is out now. But moving on to Magicians. They're near the tree area and it's actually pulling towards...
其實 apex 你問我 apex 慢慢都喺槍 game 裏面慢慢成為咗主流嘅槍 game 㗎啦，其實 apex。不過只係未去到 wing 寶同 CSGO 嗰種喺電競上面嗰個，即係嗰個獎金又好，或者嗰個規模又好，未去到咁誇張啫嘛。但係我覺得 apex 都慢慢漸成熟。咁你當然冇得同 CS 比啦，即係 apex 你 CS 嗰個歷史悠久度，你 wing 寶嗰個歷史悠久度係冇得比嘅。但係我覺得 apex 嘅潛力喺未來喺槍 game 就算全世界。即係電競呢件事上面，我覺得係會越嚟越佔重要嘅位置嘅 apex 係，即係以槍 game 啫，槍 game 嚟講。係啊，即係除咗可能大家會除咗CSGO、wing 寶可能再講就已經係 apex 㗎啦，未來都真係。我想講呢2季啊，唔係由第6季開始，第6季開始其實 apex 嗰個玩嘅人數係越嚟越上升嘅。雖然外掛都好當道啦，好多人都退坑啦，但係整體其實係真係都多人 in 亦都多人 out， 係啊，但係 in 嘅人係多過 out 嘅。我睇翻啲數據，即係無論 console 定係PC。
Hopefully when another team fights or something, that'll sway the attention off of them and they'll be able to make that rotation. But unfortunately without that Wraith portal, it's just the rotation.
哇！收呢個位啊，美圈搞7彩啊，一定。
So Alliance and so many other teams, NCD, just like you said, girl, all near Harvester are going to have to make this rotation. I believe Cooler is actually in the snake building right in front of them. So this will be an interesting fight on these teams rotating through. Cooler will be trying to capitalize on kill points if they can. Here they are actually on board now with Cooler. This will be interesting. They know that they're going to have 2 or 3 teams on the rotation. They're going to see if they can get as much damage as possible on these teams. And actually an ultimate's going to be dropped here. These teams are fighting each other. Cooler's going to try and capitalize if they can.
Really nice spray by Surdell here with the Volt. And why not take a look and see what their comms are like as they decide to third-party this or get some of these frags.
I have call. I'm gonna fall on them. Do it. They don't have DB bubble.
You have to Q this, though. KLOS as well from behind you.
Big nade, maybe?
I'm gonna take it back. Yeah. Yo,
I'll chain. I took it.
Finishing him. All dead. Okay, go back.
哇！好波啊
！Play the whole down. Yeah, play safe. Good job. Oh, dude, they got so griefed. They got hella fucking griefed, dude. They got double EMP, double GB ultimate.
It's because I'm playing Revenant. No one wants to play near them, or they like everybody. Pushing me! I'm with you. He's gone back. I did some damage to him.
Out here. There's a team behind them.
Watch this.
Yeah, team behind the building.
The bubble outside the bubble.
I'm with you. There's a solo behind them over here.
Doing damage in the horizon.
Wow.
Nice.
黐線
On our roof, careful. They're gonna try to fight.
比賽打法真係另一個世界。
They also give you. Can they reset on that hill? They're resetting right now underneath. The team on, we gotta let the team on roof push them.
Yeah. Okay. They can angle it from the north, man. They're not doing it.
Yo, look at me. Maybe I can get shots on them. They're rezzing right now.
They're rezzing.
They're getting angles. The other team's killing them. They just bubbled. I had angles on them.
They're full sending them. They're full sending them. Don't go out.
TP.
Yeah. I got a heal.
It's a clean wipe.
On me. I'm down.
Get back inside.
I'm gonna be safe.
You're good. You rest. I'm healing.
Maybe even ulti at far side. Maybe shoot the
啊
bomb out.
救
Shoot
咗
the bomb
Cooler
out
啊
left.！
上面嗰度救咗 Cooler。
You gotta rebarrel.
I am. Don't worry.
Oh my god.
Barrels on this side is broken.
Here,
Hold on.
you can take caustic gold.
Okay. I'm 62%. I'm gonna rebar this door. Hold on 1 second. Okay, we're all safe now. All barrels are fine.
Yeah.
We can't full send outside like that. Holy shit.
I had the call 3 piece.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Obey didn't do anything to them. That's unfortunate.
I have caustic gas again.
Just hold on where we are now. Yuki, don't go deep.
Okay.
The zone isn't on.
Listen. Team here, team above, and team on our building. Okay. The team on our building might get fucked.
Careful, Yuki.
Yeah, I got that light.
Listen, get ready to caustic gas them, okay, Yuki? I can EMP their bubble.
Yeah.
They're playing out here, all three.
Outside, yeah. That's fine. On height.
啊，冇一半啊！咁樣走真係好慘㗎。個位。
Kill the Gibby when the bubble's gone. Kill them when the bubble's gone. Yeah. He's playing behind the shield. Keep it walling, Keep it down. I have 15 energy only. No.
Can you loot though?
No, it's not safe.
We have to clear bottom so we can play bottom.
I only have a shotgun, guys.
Fighting here. 2 teams, 1 team, 3 teams up top, 1 team underneath, okay?
Okay. I have an ult XL. Anyone need it? No.
And another brilliant listen in here in EMEA as we get to hear from Cooler how they decide to play here. Looks like they'll be playing for low ground. They recognize there's way too much traffic on the high ground. It's not worth fighting for. So expect Cooler to play this low ground girl, but great things coming through as we hear from Nasky, the general himself.
Yeah, it's amazing to see all the information that they have to process in such a short amount of time because they are playing crypto. They have so much information. 3 teams up top, 2 teams down here, 1 team in the sky, 1 team. No, I'm just kidding. But those comms were super great. And the fact that Yuki hasn't used his caustic ultimate just shows how patient that they've got to be playing the caustic. Oh my goodness. Gambit actually going down to 7, 8, 9, and 7, 8, 9 are getting third-party by Navi. So that's 2 teams out. There's only 3 squads left in this 3rd game.
That's right, third-party central. When you have 3 or 4 teams on high ground like that, they're bound to fight each other. As soon as that first fight ensues, another team's going to capitalize. Here we go, Navi with high ground in a very good position here to make it increasingly difficult for Cooler. Who's going to have to make this rotation. They're going to heal up, and they're going to have to go. And no Gibraltar on this Cooler squad, so they're not going to have any cover. It's going to be a brutal rotation for Cooler with 3 squads remaining. But find a way to sneak out. Yuki's got to be a little bit careful here. It's just a matter of time. Navi, in my opinion, currently the best position team to win this game, but we got Magicians nearby as well.
Magicians right down below. Navi has angles on them. Wow, he puts him down. What is he actually taking Maliwan down over here? That's 2 down for Magicians isn't going to survive for much longer. So
keep 住咯，個高位係咁撲。
There's still 1 left alive on Magicians. Still 3 squads left remaining. Navi's going to jump down, try and finish off Cooler. Nice shots with the 301 by Max Straight. And this game is almost about done. And Navi is the champion of Game 3, clearing up both of the squads below. That's got to be a lot of kill points, Fallout.
That's right. Angles for days, and that's the name of the game for Navi. They're able to take their angles so quickly off the high ground. When you are the last team to the party, last team to the fight on high ground, you're able to maintain control. That's what you get rewarded with. That's what happens. Navi with the perfect execution there, perfect placement, and a massive game.
原本第7，今次冠軍，有機會彈到上去喎。 有機會一炮上就上去喎。應該成10幾20分喎，你哋都。update 咗未啊？
Thank you, girl. Thank you, Fallout. Absolutely wrecked game number
係咯，一夜彈上去咯，就係成10幾20分嘅喎嗰度。我第一，我仲有9 kill 因為。
nomenclature is now all the way to Navi.
即刻升咗第一啦。
I mean, I feel like the eliminating the angles was kind of the title.
但係好近喎，歐洲啲分數。
Very, very well.
你贏一場就已經可以一炮過第10升上第一啦。頭10都好近啊啲分。
A lot of action happens over towards that snake. We saw Cooler inside of the snake, holding out all the teams over towards the Harvester side, and then great communication.
好慘。
That's a big game from Navi. That's a big game from Cooler. I can't wait to see
兩次都要落地死。
because when we look at the leaderboard, we were talking about teams that are getting close to 50. I'm not quite sure if anyone's there quite yet as we take a look at some of these highlights again. The high ground, so important. Once you get that initial damage, they understand the instance. But look at the leading of the shots there from Max Strafe on the player, his former teammate Nasky, making it look easy. These are ridiculous shots coming in.
20位都有3000蚊㗎。
Zero hesitation on when they want to go
唔係3000，都有1200蚊㗎。呢都係8000幾蚊㗎，平均每人都係分翻2000蚊嘅。如果冇電競公司抽佣嘅話，每人都有2000蚊㗎。你玩呢個比賽就已經有2000蚊啦。港紙啊！
Doors make better fences, and boy, did they use them there in that snake building. And I feel like that in itself is a master class. I'm curious, Tom, they did some things right, they did some things wrong, Cooler Esports specifically, but in a situation like that where that ring is coming in and you are buttoned down in that building for dear life, no Gibby shield in comparison. What did they do the right thing? I mean, where were they here? Obviously, they got taken down by Navi.
I think one of the big things for Cooler is that they were able to keep their door over towards the Harvester side for a really long time. And the way that you do that is you block it, and nobody threw any nades. So the fact that Cooler was able to really just push everybody out, that's all you're looking for. And then they held that building so long until all the teams started to decimate. That was great. But really, what Cooler needed to do is just be a little bit more patient with their drone. The problem is Navi was just in too good of a position, and they were Thuman. They just got done third-partying over towards the side, and I think it was 789 who wiped out Gambit, doing a really nice job. 789 should not have won that fight. Gambit pushed that for a reason. They had the advantage, but Navi's going to take that any day of the week.
They are indeed, and in fact, they did. Let's take a look at how that interacts with our game number 3 leaderboards. As we all mentioned, you got to get to that magic 50-point threshold to get into match point eligibility. And well, in the meantime, though, let's take a look at this replay here, Tom. And oh my gosh, the carnage! It's just a good thing.
Yeah, so this is the door we were talking about. You can see it finally was blown off, but because of that, they're just backing off and playing the zone. You can see the Gibraltar bubble goes down. They're not able to get all of those finishes, but it's still plenty of damage as Flavor of the Month was holding this little corner and sliver over here. Very similar zone that
that's
surprising. We've seen this in Apex fairly often, especially when you're going in scrims and tournament scenarios, where the zone will pull one way, and then it does that like the game after that, or maybe like 2 games down the road. But look at the aggression coming in from Navi. Zero hesitation, again, complete confidence, and all 3 players on the same page. That's super important.
That is absolutely super important. And those comms we heard earlier for Cooler were definitely that kind of a mentality. They were utilizing that crypto, but Navi did such an incredible job of threading that needle, certainly to the end of that zone, to be sure. I'm you know, at this point, it's all down to the numbers. So let's take a look at those Game 3 results. And as I mentioned, 50. That's the magic number you're all listening to. Magicians know. Everybody else does too. 50. And then once you hit that 50-point threshold, you are going to win the next game, and that becomes the tournament. This is interesting, Tom. I feel like this is this is a lot more balanced than I was expecting. And holy goodness, Nuggets, Crumpets, and Dolphins.
They made their way up there. 9 kills overall, but this is really about Navi and Cooler because these are teams that, again, were on our radar. These are 2 teams that have been just deadly throughout the winter circuit, and you saw the shots coming out from Max Strafe. That is no joke. If he's able to continue to track like that, Navi is going to continue to do really well. And again, they did fairly decent in game number 2 with that sorting factory zone. We saw them picking up a decent amount of kill points along the way. So I'm really excited to see what's up with the overall leaderboard because we know teams are starting to creep up and get to that match point mark, which is 50 points. And again, to reiterate, once you get to 50 points, you have to win the next game. And it is Navi with the closest right now, only 8 points away. They jumped 6 marks up.
That's absolutely true. And I will say that, listen, Navi may be in that #1 spot, but we have seen time and time again, even as early as yesterday in our North American finals, those teams in 2 through 5, 6, those teams, some of them can have a pop-off game and all of a sudden find themselves match point eligible. So none of these teams we want to sleep on right now. None of these teams aren't deadly in this lobby.
And it's so close, excuse me, that you have to watch out for these teams because that's exactly what NRG did yesterday. And if they're able to just slow the first two teams down right now, you never know. We could have 10 teams on match point at any given point in time. But right now, Navi's focused on not only getting these 8 points, but making sure that they're continuing to play the way that they are. And they have to slow play things and stay off the kill feed. We saw yesterday Solafide had an early match point. They were the only team for maybe 1 or 2 games when CLG joined them, and I think in game number 5. But once they showed up on the kill feed, both of the teams, when there was 3 teams left, stopped what they were doing, said, okay, let's create a little peace treaty, and then go take out Solafide. And it's completely within the rules. People want the tournament to go on. If the team is about to win the tournament, you would think that you want to take them out together. That's just the way the cookie crumbles.
It is absolutely, and it's certainly the marks on your head. What is that called? The
X on your back.
You know what I'm talking about? That's the one, exactly. So, but definitely some strategy here going into our game number 4. But let's take a look at what you've been saying on the tweeters. We got some tweets from fans, and we've already heard and seen people from all over the globe watching this ALGS championship. So excited to see more of that. Me and my online classes yet watching. Multitasking, I see. So excited. I love Apex Legends. Okay, well done. Stay at school, but like, you know, good job.
Yeah, right. It's like you're writing things down, and all of a sudden you like accidentally write down Sorting Factory. It's like, whoops. Oh, all right.
Harvester party. Anyway, yes. Rigo looks. Loki says hello. Oh, there we go. Nice little cat time. Community afternoon coffee with the Just Broadcast. Oh well, hello to you and hello to Loki. Great name for a cat, by the way.
Hello, Loki. We're probably gonna see Kate's cat very soon.
We saw him a couple times yesterday, unbeknownst to me. Watching the Algs stream with my doggo, Lev from Switzerland. Hey, we love you guys too. This is awesome. Love that picture-in-picture. Thanks so much for joining us here on the screen. And remember, if you want to be part of this broadcast, we'd like to showcase you in everything that you say and do. Go ahead and follow us at PlayApex on Twitter. Use that hashtag ALGS. And then 1,000 Apex coins to you. Hey, speaking of, we wanted to know earlier who in the EMEA Super Regional you have your eye on, and we're going to check in with that poll right now. We want to see if your opinions change. This is a dynamic poll. It's pulling from all of our different chats and Twitters. Nessie, there it is. What is up, friends? That's how we do.
I wonder if Cooler's stock is going to continue to rise after a decent game. Na'Vi should probably continue to rise as well. But what's up with the Nuggets and the Crumpets, the Flying Camels, and 1907 Fenderbach? Let's give these guys some love. Third Impact Magicians, Flavor of the Month, Australis. Hey, let's boost them up a little bit. Let's get some hype in the chat.
That's right. We know they've got fans. Make sure you check out this. Take a screenshot, do your print screen, whatever it is you need to do. Take out your phone. These are the hashtags. Use them in our Twitch chat. Use them in YouTube live chat. Use them on our Twitters. They will all aggregate into this very popular vote. Let's give them as
your opinion.
As Tom mentioned. Today is one of those days. As Tom mentioned, we've got a lot of great teams here. You are the reason for the season, so get your popular vote in. Vote early, vote often, have some fun, and give some love to some of these teams. They have made it through a slog just to even get here, so we want to make sure that they are enjoying themselves. Tom, is there anything left you got to say before we head on over to game number 4?
Let's go. Game number 4. Someone's got to slow down Na'Vi before they win this thing.
Sounds like a plan. Over to our casters, but first, take a look at this.
但係你係 move out 翻去 Gym Impact 啊？
The Winter Circuit playoffs will be back in 3
擺你屋企又好似好多，下次攞又可能有啲麻煩。我直接擺 Gym Impact 會開心啲。
Battle with a machine that's as savage as you are.
幾好啊！呢個宣傳，有 feel 呢個宣傳。
Savage inside.
De fightar! 2 knocks! Nice! Knocks! Ett lag kvar! Han QR! Det är nice try, det är nice try! Back alltså, du måste ta line där alltså. Men de båda... Du måste bara chilla.
Do you have nades? Yes, I'm nading it now! They're pushing! I stuck one! Blow down! Knock one! Nice! Hey, bubble! No, you don't. I'm hiding. Play behind me! We need to push these on us. Oh, he's alone!
Nice, good job. We don't have a lot of kills, fuck it.
Hey guys, Rainday here talking about my favorite laptop right now, the Lenovo Legion 7i.
My
What I
gongo.
love about this the most is that it's a gaming PC. It's a beast of a gaming PC, but I can take it anywhere, whether I'm at home, whether I'm out
呢部電腦真係好用啦，佢係有 A、有 B、有 C、有 D 嘅唔同嘅功能。大家打 apex 一定要用呢部電腦啊！呢部電腦實在太犀利啦！咁啊哇 ，total Q 28，OK 啊 ，OK。Last 30 minutes.
Welcome back, Apex family. It is time for game number 4, and this is where the playoffs start to get interesting. We have our match point format, and Dan, there's a couple of teams that are very, very close to that 50-point threshold, and Na'Vi are the team leading the way.
And I just saw the poll there. The actual highest prediction for when these finals would finish was going to be 4 games. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. No one is on match point.
大家如果想睇翻琴日即係 TSM 北美嘅話，係可以去翻YouTube 嘅 ALGS 嘅頻道，你就揾得翻琴日。
Well, we'll take a look at the points and scoring just to remind you all of how it works. If you don't know by now, then I'm sure if you are someone who's been watching for a while, they'll get you up to speed very, very quickly. But essentially, first place is where you secure 12 points, and you can see the corresponding points going down by placement, and one additional kill point will be added to your score per kill. So kills are absolutely vital at this point for the chasing pack. For those teams that are at the top, though, Dan, placement should get them over that 50-point threshold.
Yeah, that's all Na'Vi should really be focusing on this point, is just getting to the latter stages of this game, ensuring they get those placement points. They're not focusing too much on kills.
ALGS 個 channel 自己慢慢欣賞呀。嗱，下面啲人好佛心添啊，有晒 Game 1、Game 2、Game 4、Game 5、Game 6、Game 7人時間啊，大家可以任意中環啊。OK。
Maybe as we start seeing teams get closer to match point mark, we might see a few composition changes. We've seen Cryptos kind of changed in and out. We've seen
My Gongo official PC and monitor.
I think it's very much needed. Those bubbles are so important.
Energy drink.
Yeah, one thing I'm a little bit surprised at, just looking at the leaderboards at the moment, is seeing Alliance down in 17th position. They haven't done a huge amount of damage in comparison to some of the other teams in the lobbies as well. When you're playing that Revan Octane composition, you would expect to see them doing a little bit more damage. We do have an opportunity to look at where that beacon is going to be lighting up as well, and you can see Lava Fissure, Countdown, Train Yard, and Staging, all POIs.
哇，又係收翻呢個圈嘅喂，點解成日都收呢個圈嘅而家？我睇頭先日韓又係咁收。
789 again in the early stages.
冇其他圈收咩？
and we'll probably have a little gander around to see if they can pick up some early KP as they've done in previous games. But you are right, we expected a lot of aggression out of Alliance. We thought they were going to be picking up KP, running especially that Revenant combo. But it hasn't just worked out for them. They got griefed very heavily in the previous game. You actually heard Cooler laughing about it in their listening, saying, hey, they just got hit by 2 crypto drones and a Gibby bombardment, and they were getting railgunned. And they laughed. They said that's what you get for playing Revenant. Sometimes people don't like certain compositions going up against them.
Let's bring you up to speed with how we're standing at the moment. Na'Vi currently top of the leaderboards. 42 points on the board for them. So 8 points away. The chasing pack, Reply Tome Esports, 38. Flavor of the Month behind them with 33. Cooler, 33. Gambit, 33. 789 on 27. And Fenerbahce with 26. I mean, all of these teams with one big game here. could cross that points threshold. And that's an interesting thing for me because a lot of the time when we see match point format, we see 1 or 2 teams kind of creep over the line. And then, like Tom was saying on the desk, they have that mark on their back. Everyone in the lobby is thinking, if we see them, they have to go. They have to be taken out immediately to give us the opportunity to continue in this tournament. But when 4 or 5 teams get onto match point, we heard it from Rocky yesterday from NRG saying, the lobby changes once again. When there's 4 or 5 teams on match point, all of a sudden you don't get focused. You can play your own game once again, and it's going to be interesting to see if that happens as we roll through these games.
Well, Nessie are starting to make their way in. They were #1 on your fan poll, so let's have a little listening and see what they're thinking.
咁多藍袋，咁好彩。
There's no armors.
One in my top.
He was walking up at me, cracked.
Yeah.
He bubbled.
Oh my god. I'm coming to this house and running over.
You can keep looting. Just keep looting. It's fine.
Yeah, but I don't want to. Oh my god.
You need to pick up sniper ammo for me. You have
I got
to.
some. I got 12.
I have 18 bullets from my.
Yeah, I got 12, bro.
They're in countdown window, not looking.
Yes, we just have to get to your house ASAP. I got some more for you. I don't think we can craft it without TP bubble, by the way. I got bullets for you.
Coming over. I didn't even.
Navi's walking up now, taking high.
That's fine. Let them.
Right, I'm coming over.
Alright, I'm here. Here, I drop you sniper ammo inside.
Yeah, I got sniper ammo for you.
I have a 2x wingman. I'm not happy, but what can I do? You want the 2x, May, or no?
You want to trade? Wingman for triple tech?
Yeah.
Guys, where are they?
Here, you have a lot of bullets. This one. I don't know right now. I'm not looking.
I don't know. I have to drop back down.
I'm up top. I don't see anyone. Maybe go craft now.
I will go craft. Just stand on the roof and look for me.
I am on the roof. I am
dropping sniper bullets inside.
One team is in this glass door. I think we're fine though. Oh. Shooting me from fucking rock.
Are you not looking at me or not?
I can't, no. Armor swapping.
I can kind of stay outside of you here.
Yes. I'm on this side now. I can't stay on the other side. I can't stay on this side either, I think. I can.
One knock.
72.
They're in the open.
In the open.
Someone TP'd on me. Someone TP'd on me.
I don't see them. I'm looking.
基本上歐洲咧，我見佢哋呢幾隊咧都係比較偏少用 Horizon， 即係都有隊用會 pick Horizon， 但係日韓用 Horizon 嗰個機率係再多啲，即係20隊裡面差唔多。我印象頭先係差唔多有成1/3嘅隊都會 pick Horizon。
a little bit close fight in this building, and there was the possibility of maybe a little fight, but I don't think anyone wants to take it right now because this zone is likely pulling towards them. They've got some fantastic buildings, and they should be able to get to that late game if they can continue to hold those spots. But always interesting to see how teams are going to be playing, what they plan to do with the rotation, where they think the zone is going to be pulling, and of course, if they're happy with their loot.
Yeah, only one team been eliminated so far as we jump on board with New Esports, the winner of one of our early games here in the EMEA playoffs. See if they can put some more points on the board. They're currently sat in a fairly good position at the moment as well. Down in 8th place, so falling off a little bit from what we saw earlier on, but Australis, who haven't had the greatest of starts, currently in 18th place. They're looking to get aggressive here, and when you are down in 18th place, Dan, take some fights. You know what I mean? You've got to turn this tournament around, Australis. Get angry, get in some faces, get some knocks, get some kills.
But at the same time, if you haven't been able to win those fights, you're not going to be oozing with confidence, and you know how good these lobbies are. So you might be thinking, well, actually, perhaps our best chance of getting points here is placement, is trying to rotate, is trying to survive. We are seeing the Rampart in play, though, and that is something I am a big fan of. I love seeing differences in the Legend selection, and maybe this Rampart could do a little bit of damage in the late game with her turret, but I guess we'll see. We'll find out.
啊，有 Rampart 添喎！
Jump over to watch Reply Tome Esports at the moment.
澳洲隊有出埋
Rampart
添喎。
Of crossing that 50-point threshold to put themselves onto match point, so they've got to have a pretty decent game here in this game number 4 to push them over. They're making an interesting rotation. They're going to be moving toward. the snake buildings here in sorting
太
factory.
咬地形啦
I think they might have just spotted out a team, or at least scoping out a team and making sure that area is safe for them to move up to. Should be, as you can see, a lot of teams have already moved their way across. And this is an interesting rotation for me, really swinging wide onto where that zone is going to be moving. Flavor of the Month now making their rotation as well, moving across towards Harvester. And to be fair to Flavor of the Month, they're currently sat in 3rd position, and you think about zones and where they've got to move. There've been a lot of west zones, and they drop over at Lava City, so they've had a very, very good tournament at the moment, working on some very long rotations and making the most out of bad situations.
They've been doing really well, and it's not only been their 3v3 fights, but it's also the clutch situations when just one of them is left. We saw how close North was to winning a 1v2 to actually get them a victory in one of the earlier games. But they are definitely one of the teams I think has the possibility of getting match point in this game if they are able to have a big game. Alongside the likes of Cooler, Gambit, Totem and Na'Vi, we could all see them getting 2 match points. And now, Flavor of the Month, they are pushing up. They're looking to get a little bit aggressive here.
Yeah,
look who it is again. Hackis is down, and it's Alliance who are on the back once more. The team who love to pressurize other teams at the moment are just getting beamed by the 301 and beamed by the flatline here of Taylor as well. I mean, that is a clean wipe. Alliance, I just don't know what's going wrong for them at the moment. It's just one of those days where it seems like everything they're trying is just backfiring.
Yeah, considering they are down in the bottom 4 of the leaderboards, they needed a big game to try and catch up with the rest of the lobby, and it is not going to be this game. Flavor of the Month will happily take that KP. They can now have a little look and scan around to see if anyone else is able to be picked up, rotating from this particular area. And it means they get loot, and maybe, you know, this could be the start of their move towards that match point eligibility. And I wonder how many teams we're going to get after this game. I'm pretty certain we're going to find 1 mark. It would be great if we could find 2, because of course it would make things very interesting going into that match number 5. But in the moment, we need to see some of these teams who are at the top of the leaderboards just get to the late stages of this game.
See some teams here rotating through Skyhook as well. You can see Fenerbahce Esports. They're set up at the moment, just playing right on the edge of circle, making sure that their back is clear. I'm not sure if they're aware if there's any teams that are just trying to check at the moment. There's no teams that are rotating late, maybe through the ring. Shot's going to be coming in here from Microfibers for Flying Camels. And maybe he is going to become the Flying Camel that he wants to be. You can believe you can be a Flying Camel, you can become the Flying Camel if you've got a jump pad and you're playing as Octane. Unfortunately for him though, his teammate has fallen now. Microfibers is going to have to try and back out. Hits the stim to get that pace boost, and now he's going to be running away towards his teammate who's in all sorts of problems. You can see Jose at the moment in a 1v1. He should be taken down as well. And now it's up to Microfibers. Victory situation for him.
Yeah, it's not looking very likely, but I have seen camels fly, so you never know. Maybe he can survive here. Has to just dip round this corner, but he's not going to be able to. And that is going to be Flying Camels eliminated. And finally, 4Gang get the upper hand here in Skyhook, but for how long? Because there is another team here and involved.
Skyhook, a very busy place for the last few moments. And it looks like it's going to be continuing to be for the next 35 seconds or so. Ultimate Accelerant going to be popped here by the Caustic as well. Just give them the option. Maybe getting that ultimate a little bit sooner than they would have previously. It looks like it won't be available for this fight. Sabron going to get the armor swap now on the Rampart, who isn't going to be too useful in this situation. You can see the third Impactor in a great position. They're ahead of both of these teams fighting at the moment. They've managed to out-rotate them. And now if that fight does break down and there's a couple of knocks, they'll have the opportunity to gatekeep and pick up some easy KP should they need to.
And Third Impact, they've been doing a lot of damage in these games, and they've been able to survive to the latter stages. Got a decent amount of kills, 9 kills at the moment. They just need one of those big matches where they get to the final 3 with a lot of KP to push themselves up with the rest of the leaders. Australis, they were having a little look around to see whether that team that was originally contesting them was still going to be looking for a scrap, but it looks like the early rotate is going to be made, but they're going to be walking straight into Third Impact here.
Yeah, this is difficult here, like I'm saying. Third Impact just in such a power position here by having a slightly quicker rotation, recognizing the opportunity to move forward. Now they can hold this team out, and for Australis, unfortunately, they're kind of stuck between a Third Impact and a hot ring, and they're getting pushed from the back by the zone. There is a player in the corner they've got to be careful of as well. Looks like they will pick up at least a KP there onto Road from EGS, but You can see they're just coming under all sorts of fire now. The Gibby bombardment coming down. Third impact with the portal down as well. Ziki looking to move in, maybe finish off some kills, but recognizing that they didn't get the damage that they initially wanted, so backing out smartly for third impact.
Yeah, only going to be that second circle, so it's not going to be too bad in terms of damage you're taking from the ring. As long as they've got meds, they should be able to get out, but it depends which way they go. Third impact should still be able to wait comfortably for them. Gambit under a little bit of pressure here as well. Hardeki having to bat up, but it looks like the rest of the team were able to take down 303. So Gambit still march on. 16 squads remaining. There is a purple armor there to pick up and probably re-shield if they need it. They are going to have to rotate into this next circle, and you can see pings coming through as they start to consider how they're going to achieve that mark. And you've got to be very careful because every route that you can take seems to be covered by the majority of teams at the moment. Everyone's spread out quite a lot in this lobby.
Not having a great game though. You can see he's kill leader of the lobby at the moment. 3 kills to his name for Flavor of the Month, and I think they managed to steal one of those KP away from Gambit in that fight as well. Now they're making their rotation. And it looks like they're going to be safe for that next zone as well. Triple take in the hands of Pierre as well, so he'll be able to do some damage and also clear out the route for their rotation. Speaking of which, let's jump into the comms now. Flavor of the Month. They're currently feeling really good in this game. They've got KP on board as well. Let's see what the comms are like.
Det är viktigt att du håller vid liv, Pierre, alltså.
Ja.
Kommer scanna bakåt.
Okay.
Är det de som fightar där kanske? Det kan vara. TP här nere och grejer. TP här. Jag ser ju inte dem på toppen. Fight här bak. Håll den här sidan. Håll den här sidan. Håll den här sidan. Okej. Jag håller här bak. Vi måste tänka om några kommer här också. Ja då. Håll där och så håller du train. Ja. Ja, de är nere på husen här nere just nu ett lag. Jag kan GB här borta.
Mycket fight här.
Nu måste det gå tillbaka. Nej, hinner inte gå tillbaka och lota. Upp till Doriton tänker du? Ja. What heavy. Men nu får liksom, så sitter folk under och grejer liksom, så vi är med på alla sådana små grejer. Ja, jag har skannat under oss här nere. Ja, jag fick en lila där. Vi kan byta om med sand. Jag har 60 från mig. Vi byter sand bara fortsätt köra. Jag lag där uppe fortfarande. De är inte i där.
Åh, vilken snipe!
Train ska ut nu. Ja, det där man kan få lite kills. 40 på Gibby. Lila.
De springer här.
So Flavor of the Month safe for now. Currently sat in third place with 33 points on the board. Looking to score those final points they need to get onto match point, Dan.
Really important that Cooler actually finished that kill off, but they're not able to. Having to back off. The bombardment comes through now. Can Serdell get inside? And he can, thankfully. Otherwise that could have been a little bit tricky. But they were doing a lot of damage to that team coming towards them. Cooler only 17 points off match point. So if they can get to, you know, the final 3 here, maybe they could be one of our first to reach it. Third Impact also trying to get involved in a fight. Spitfire and Eva 8 for Ziki. This is going to be a 3v3.
There's going to be a huge fight going down, and the chopper is always going to take the opportunity to sing, as we well know. Great shots with the Eva 8 as well. Now comes in and what's it like a very comfortable push for Third Impact. All of a sudden, looked incredibly uncomfortable, and they were placed on the face of game number 4. What a turnaround that was for them. And that's what happens in these situations where you have teams alive and all these teams in different POIs. You make one mistake, you make one push where a team is just waiting in the wings, and all of a sudden, your game gets ended.
It's whether Third Impact recognized they were about to be pinched, so they just tried to win that initial fight to ensure they got some KP, or whether they had no idea that other team was going to be coming from behind, because I feel like if you knew that team was there, you're reluctant to push out, you back off, you wait, you want them to initiate first so you can be the third party. Either way, New Esports, they're able to rack up those kills, and that is some easy KP for them in the end. They've done very well to be patient and push in late. And I wonder whether New Esports now can continue that train and get to this final circle. You see Kick are situated quite well. They have a little bit of a high ground advantage over Cooler Esports. That was the team they were having a scrap with earlier. But I think these caustics are very important in these lobbies, Mark. Now we have such little amounts of them, you are reluctant to push a caustic team when you come up against one. It's just so difficult to try and get in and around them.
Yeah, big moments here for Kick Esports as well. You can see that Cooler do have the position on them as far as zone is concerned. Kick are the team who are going to be forced to rotate first. You can see the portal went in. It looks like it might have been a little bit of a dummy, maybe, to try and force another opportunity to take the eyes away from them for just a few moments where they can maybe play that lower bridge and move ahead of Cooler Esports. It looks like that will be the move. So Cooler Esports have got to be wise to this, and it looks like they are. They're getting some good angles at the moment. Jack are going to be forced to use the ult as well of the Bloodhound to get that speed to cross. The bubble going to be used as well, and Kick Esports, it's a risky move for them, but they have to make it, and it looks like for now at least they'll be safe, but maybe not. The push now coming in from Cooler.
Kick are the team that have to actually make the play. They're only on 11 points right now. They need to push forward, try and get KP, but they're pushing out and they're being shot by everyone else in the lobby. Cooler have done well to deal some damage, but they also have to move up. Looks like they're okay. Kicker down to just 2, but for how long? Because it doesn't look like they're going to survive much longer down in this lava. A lot of eyes on them right now. Down to just 9 squads. Gambit are picking up some kills. What damage can Kick do? Denze going to be the last remaining player as the Wraith. It looks like Kick down and out, and we're down to just 8 squads.
And it's Gambit who are starting to heat up, and I see that name in the kill feed time and time again, and it's Hardeki. And if that man starts to catch fire, well, the rest of the lobby is going to know about it. He loves to put kills on the board, and when he starts to roll, the whole lobby starts to rock. Now we jump back over onto Flavor of the Month. Still looking to secure those points they need to move on to match point. In a pretty good position right now. Shots with a triple take. He's going to drop some shields around the corner, but also a very difficult rotation for them. They've got teams in front of them that are holding down arguably more advantageous positions, so we're going to have to see some damage from those longer range weapons and then the opportunity taken to push up on that damage and take those fights.
New Esports picking up some big kills as well, and 3 of our top 5 teams still alive in this lobby. It's important to point out Na'Vi were taken out earlier, Totem Esports were taken out earlier. Did they do enough to get onto match point? But we've got to look at the likes of Cooler, Gambit, Flavor of the Month. They all have the possibility to get onto match point with a big kill game here, as New Esports have managed to do some damage, and now they can back off and move towards this next circle. They're in a nice position, but they are going to be pressured by quite a few teams here.
Yeah, they're in the best position on the map at the moment, in my opinion. They're pretty much in zone. They're holding out teams as well who are going to be in the crossfire of not only them, but other teams that are trying to rotate in as well. And here comes the move now from Flavor of the Month. You can say Taylor putting down that portal. He wants to play behind these bins, and he's managed to find a safe spot for Flavor of the Month here inside of that next zone. It's a beautiful portal, and now he's going to just pop back as well to see if we can get some late damage on teams rotating in. I love this communication and execution and idea coming in from Flavor of the Month.
What can Gambit do now? Backs against the wall, grenades coming from here, there, and everywhere. Artico's the last remaining. Gambit are wiped in 6th spot, but they have done a lot of damage, and now the rest of the teams come in to try and farm what's left, and it's Flavor of the Month picking up kills, down to just 4 teams now, Mark.
Yeah, Flavor of the Month moving in and seeing the 3rd-party opportunity, the 4th-party opportunity, whatever you want to call it. It was the best opportunity for them to get involved with some KP and farm their way towards that match point. They've got those kills on the board now, and you can see Cooler. They're up in the top right-hand side of your screen. Flavor of the Month and New Esports, your final 3 teams as we come down to this final fight.
Yeah, Flavor and Cooler both on 33 points coming into this as well, so a victory plus 5 kills would be enough to get them on match point. We've already seen them farming, you've already seen the kills. So just a victory here for either team should be enough to get to match point. And New Esports, well, a big game from them. Maybe they can creep up as well, but you can see all 3 teams separated at the moment. Everyone's going to be reluctant to be that first team to engage.
上返嚟咯，完咗呢場應該。
But as that circle slowly creeps in,
頭先差唔係好多分數，一嘢可以反跳。哇，好近啊！歐洲嘅呢隻。
Well, it looks like New Esports are going to try and push on to Cooler, and that is going to be music to the ears of Flavor of the Month as well. That will be the signal for a 3rd-party opportunity. Big damage being done here by Postkill as well with the Spitfire. Unfortunately, trying to push through this gas is so difficult to do.
Whoa, 爭少少。
He's got an EVA 8 in hand, and he's laying some shots down.
哎呀，哇！就一次隻我嚟，好彩啊！就。
that he's going to be able to decimate people. people up close.
Flavor of the month now pushing
呢邊係攻啦，
Kashira doing some amazing damage, but
係
it's
跪
not
低，
enough. Rockstar comes down.
暗馬
Has
士
to try
跪
and
低，
back off the rest of the team. Roger Bodger's still alive, gets back up to a full gold shield, but it is 2 versus 3. Taylor should have time to heal up.
做暗馬士收皮，哇！準啊！
to get the knock, 5 kills to his name, and now he's moving in for the final one as well. Flavor of the month needed some points to cross that 50-point threshold, and surely now they have done it. They will take your game number 4, and it was beautiful execution from them, not just in that final fight, but in the stages building up to it. Flavor of the month are looking so good.
It was difficult for Cooler. They were in that position for so long at the start of the
FOTM
game.
喺個位 stay 咗幾耐
successfully, and they ran out of meds. And I feel like New Esports kind of sussed that out. They pushed, they did the damage, they got a couple of kills, and then Flavor of the Month took full advantage of the third parties. But some incredible shots. That 1v1 at the end was so important from Taylor. And that is going to be enough points. We are going to see Flavor of the Month go on the match point mark. But the big question is, does anyone else join them? Cooler were on 33 points as well. They won't pick up, of course, the big 12 points from winning. They didn't get that many kills, but I'm hoping
哇！即刻彈翻上57。
on match point.
NAVR 即刻跌翻落去第4， 45分。
Very, very interesting. But we do have our first teams crossing that match point threshold.
哇！真係差好遠喎！一場冠軍又再換位嘅頭6啊！
Thank you, Jensen.
頭6都可以再換，頭7都可以再換位。
Let me break it down for you here. This is what
頭
game
8
number
難啲，
4 was
但係
all
頭
about.
7都可以再換。
Farming, a party or two, and then farming again. Well done, GG to Flavor of the
哇！
Month.
12 Q 啊 FOTM。
Flavor of the month. I'm glad we got a lesson with them where they slowly creeped up onto the edges of the zone. That zone was extremely unpredictable. I think that everybody expected it to pull a little bit more harder towards the lava fish area. That's why we saw the setup over towards that major building, which was being held, and it was being really nicely held by Cooler too on the other side. And then you saw him go and take that little crevice in the cave area, and that proved to be a very useful spot too. So there was a lot going on in that game, but I think that the pull away from Game 5 is the big key, and I think the fact that Flavor of the Month comes through and gets a little bit gifted on the circle there.
Interesting, man. I feel so bad for like.
Battle with a machine that's as savage as
睇下 Super PS 先啦，大家睇下。
I heard an Octane to the right. Yeah, I heard it. Teammate, let's fight this. Let's fight this. He's low, really low.
Running.
Looking left. Octane cracked. Yes. I'm pushing Octane. That's all you guys. Octane dead. That's all dead. Good shit. New team on me. New team on me. I'm running. We fight this as well. On me, I stunned one. White armor outside. On the roof. Jump pad to the roof if you want. Jump pad to the roof if you want. Try it. It's fine. Shoot these guys. Shoot this guy. Try it. No, he's gone. It's fine. It's okay. We just loot. It's all good. Yeah. On top of us. Above us. Maybe. I can jump pad. Do it. Go.
battle with a machine that's as savage as you are. Lenovo Legion. Stylish outside, savage inside.
Waiting for things to happen, barking call outs, exactly what they need to do. You have to be able to stay calm so everyone can hear the you know, the communication and all those type of things, but you also have to get sound cues. So you're going to hear a lot of these pro players say, hey, I need comms. What does that mean? That means that everybody has to stop communicating. I need to listen to my headphones, try to find out where these footsteps are coming from. But in an instance like that, it's all about hype. It's all about momentum. The louder you scream, the more that your team's going to get aggressive, and that's what you see right there from Flavor of the Month.
Indeed, indeed. Let's see how it translates to our Game 4 leaderboards. More importantly, our overall leaderboards that could mean one of our teams here going into that match point eligibility. That is the kind of numbers, Flavor of the Month, and new esports we need to see. That is an absolutely stellar game number 4, Tom.
And then Cooler and Navi are going to be right on their heels, I believe, in terms of being able to get to that match point. But taking a look at some additional stats and numbers here, Artico from Gambit is sitting in the kill lead, tied with Noth from Flavor of the Month, and they have 15 total. 4K damage almost, though, for Artico compared to 3K coming in from Noth. Next closest is going to be Roger at 12, so these guys are completely popping off. We have 3 players right now in double figures. Zanya would be fourth, sitting at 9, but what a game coming through from a lot of these teams. Flavor of the Month, new esports. We even had Cooler coming through looking pretty solid. And then obviously Gambit is one of these teams in the discussion too. So one more game, and I believe we're looking at possibly 4, maybe 5 teams going to the match point. So this is what we see yesterday with Solifide in North America. Flavor of the Month now today has one opportunity for sure going into this game where nobody else has a chance to win the championship here. We'll see if Flavor of the Month can pull it off.
See, indeed, and you're absolutely right. This is definitely the top 5 teams here.
個嘢食先，趁佢未開 Game 5。
I think we're even a little bit farther along, even into this game number 4 than we were yesterday for our North American region. So there is definitely some opportunity. What, 4 points away, 5 points away, 9 points? My goodness. Let's take a look at that game number 4 and how the journey began here with new esports, just putting in work with that flatline. Woo! That's a nice one.
Yeah, so this Flatline and the Scout have been really, really popular coming in from the EMEA teams, and we're seeing also the power that they're able to utilize with all the different scopes here, 2x, 3x, etc., etc. It's been really impressive to see a lot more Flatline usage coming out today than we saw yesterday in North America. We saw a lot of favor of the Spitfire, still a lot of favor with the Spitfire today, but this is where that zone pull just came a little bit off a Lava Fissure, and you can see all the teams that were set up over towards there, making sure that they were in a good spot. Nessie taking a lot of damage over here as they were coming through and trying to kill Team Gambit down below, but it's just a lonely JMW. He's not going to be able to hold his own against a powerhouse like Flavor of the Month coming through, taking different angles right here, and now they have a 3 versus 1 while everybody else is getting healthy. There's 0 chance they're going to get away from this with the scans coming out. What a game from Flavor of the Month. They really needed that, and again, this could be their game. They're going to have at least 1 game, maybe 2 games where they're not going to be that contested. But the key for Flavor of the Month, stay low key now. Don't be in the kill feed. Just kind of slow play it, rat it out just a little bit. And then when you find these other teams coming in, killing each other, if you could get into that final circle, that's when your time to pop off is. We'll see if Flavor of the Month does that or if they continue to keep up a fast-paced style.
You're absolutely right, and I think there's also something which I think you brought up yesterday during our NA finals that I think is also true here today, of course, which is that you obviously, I think, Flavor of the Month, what you just said, spot on, but it's something else, that last little in the back of my head going, well, but there's also points, and if for some reason Flavor of the Month makes it through into this next, and they don't make it into this next game as the winner, they don't take the whole tournament this next game, the game after that, at the end of the day, it still impacts who gets 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Is that correct, Tom?
Yeah, no doubt about it. But they're definitely having their sights set on winning right now.
Yeah.
And the key for that is, again, just slow play that. I can't stress that enough, that a lot of teams don't, come through with that mindset. They just continue to play the way that they did. But we know that the lobby's after them, like you were saying, okay, X on their back, everybody going to be looking for them, everybody collapsing. If you see that one player's down, other teams in 18th, 19th place, they're not going to care. They're trying to catch up. They don't want the tournament to end. They want more games to be played. Because if you don't have 50 right now, you feel like you still have an opportunity. You'd be like, oh, it's only one team. So you have to be able to come through and take that team out, and that's what these teams are probably going to do.
This is where the cookie crumbles, and I can't wait. Hey, speaking of cookies, pizza? I don't know. You guys have been tweeting. Let's take a look at what you've been saying all around the world as we continue our competition here today for our Winter Circuit Finals. Oh, this is excellent.
Hey.
Crazy Loba Baby Twins. Hey, you know what? Listen, I will take that. Loba's the coolest That bracelet of hers, come on, let's do things.
Yeah, I mean,
always find something
you are on the verge of cosplaying that, Kate. You do have to kind of go. I'm not sure where you're gonna find that shade of teal green though for the eyeshadow. That looks like a little difficult find.
That's the problem. That's fair. Either way, thank you so much. What's up, Wolfie? Appreciate the love there, man. That's awesome. Oh, here we go. Nice little Nessie love. Watching Angel root for Nessie, of course. Notice that they're using that hashtag there, gang. Loch Ness Center. Wait a minute. Hold the phone. This isn't the actual, like, in Scotland, is it?
It must be. I don't know. That picture looks legit, though.
Oh my gosh, yes, it's the official. We're just getting word from our production team. It's the official Loch Ness Center, confirmed. Wow! Hey, I think we made it, Tom. Either way, thanks so much to the Loch Ness Center for tweeting us out here. And finally, we got Toaster. Oh, whatever, can't even handle my buddy Nemo. Oh, good name. Had to tap out after that last super intense game. Boy, do I hear you on that one, Tom. Do I hear you?
I am a sucker for paws. I just love this cat. What a cutie. And also, props for the blanket. And that looks very comfortable.
It's, you know, we like paws and pizzas. Like, that's that pretty much. Let me just break that down. There it is. That's exactly the kind of tweets we love. And hey, thank you so much for tweeting at us. Use that hashtag ALGS. Tweet at us at PlayApex. And as you saw, 1,000 Apex coins potentially to you. Well, Tom, it feels like the time has come once again to throw it back to our casters. Any last words before we do just that?
We'll see if it's flavor of the month's time. They have one game here, so we'll see. A lot of teams are going to catch up to 50, so it's going to be interesting.
It is indeed. Now we're going to head to those casters here for game number 5. But first, an important message about mental health.
Hey, you! Grab some popcorn and get ready. We've got another game in 3 minutes.
Battle with a machine that's as savage as you are. Lenovo Legion. Stylish outside, savage inside.
På mig! Crack! Ett upp på mig, ett upp på mig! Jag kuar ut. Jag kuar långt back. Jag drar bat. Väl tillsammans. Prata med varandra. Flash! En kvar bara. Spela skydd. Uppe på lådan. 50 på honom. Kör bara. Crack! Let's go! Match point!
Welcome everybody to game number 5 as we now have a team on match point. It's flavor of the month. Consistency rises true. We saw it yesterday in the North American Finals with Sola Fide, and now flavor of the month does it. They reached the 50-point threshold, but the question is, girl, can they close it out? Can they win a game to end this tournament?
Honestly, I think their highest chances are right now because nobody considers them a threat, I would say. Kind of like SF yesterday, as you heard with the NRG interview afterwards, is nobody considered first place a threat because they're going to be targeted and But SF actually got through to top 3 and almost won out the tournament. So if anything, this is the game for them.
That's right. Yeah, you heard it from the interview yesterday with NRG, for those who missed it, basically saying you don't want to be the first team to get match point, because if you're the first team, then you get targeted by the entire lobby. So that might be a mentality of some of these teams here. Certainly not the end of the world for teams that are still in contention for match point. You look at Gambit in second place with 46, New Esports, Navi with 45, Cooler with 41, Totem with 39, and the last one I put in that list, 789 with 37, until you have a really big drop-off with Fenerbahce in 8th place with 28 points. I think they're slightly outside of a first-place match point contention, unless they have a crazy type of pop-off game. But one of those teams I mentioned is Cooler, dropping over in Fragment. We thought they were going to get contested often, but NCD actually backed off the drop spot and ended up actually going either Overlook or Respawn Village right outside of Fragment. So Cooler is able to get their full loot on Fragment East and rotate quickly like we're used to seeing.
I don't know if it's a type of respect that just happened, but I can respect that. Cooler is on the top of the leaderboard. Maybe they just weren't having the best games against Cooler. Cooler has been in our end zone for so many of these games. They've been playing consistent throughout the tournament. They are definitely going to be able to get to match point in this game, I would say. That's my bet.
It's a safe bet. I like that. It's a good one. 41 points. They need 9 kills, or they need a few kills and a top 10 finish, and they should be able to close that out. So it's a good prediction here. You're calling Cooler, early rotation. They'll get placement. I think Gambit's going to be joining them in that company. They've been playing very well the last couple of games, with 3rd place finish in 6 kills, 5th place finish in 2 kills, and then a 6th place finish last game, but 10 kills for Gambit. They've been looking great on board with Australis right now, as they're making the rotation all the way from the top side of the map over towards Skyhook. Although it looks like they're going to find themselves in yet another engagement early. They've been fighting early quite consistently. We've seen our Middle East and African teams fight for early game, girl.
We have indeed, and here we are with Cooler. They're taking a scout inside the tunnel. They're getting shot at from above train yard right now, so they're going to have to be careful. We've got a lot of teams around them. The tunnel is an okay spot to go, but they're going to decide to go around. They do have the caustic, and they have the crypto, so they're going to be able to scout out here. They are on the lookout, and this is actually not where you want to be. Above you, they'll definitely
太好啦，個時間處理得。
They don't feel that kind of pressure, or they don't feel that kind of threat right now. And we're moving on to Top Dogs. They're in, I believe, 10th place right now.
Yep, Top Dogs, an all-Finnish team. All 3 of them from Finland. Of course, 2 members of this team, 0-0 and Mimu, played silver medalists at the X Games. Those that maybe just started watching competitive Apex. Apex was at the X Games 2 years ago in 2019, back when we had the opportunity to compete on land, of course. And these two, Mimu and 0-0 team, was sniped down, got a silver medal representing reciprocity back then, right behind TSM, and took home the gold medal back then. Very impressive stuff as Sniped Down joined that team. Quite last minute, actually, they showed up big in their first land. Meanwhile, Cooler, not looking too great right now.
一開始 Cooler 死2件。
知
知咯，啱啱先話佢穩定嗰個排位，唔會話特別。
That was going to portal out, and then he's going to portal right back. He's got his teammate with him, and he's underneath the bridge, so they're going to have to drop down if they want to do anything towards Dal. But Dal spots him. He has the armor swap right in front of him if he needs it. He's recovered the banner. He still has yet to recover Yuki's banner. Nobody likes to drop from high ground to low ground. It's kind of something that more or less rookies do. But if they are able to get right back up fast, then it would be okay. So Serdal just holding the angle, playing it safe. He's very scared right now because they need 9 points to get to match point. They're one of the closest ones to get to match point. They're in the top 5 right now. So he's going to have to recover, and it's all up to Serdal right here. And Navi, they're just chilling. They're having a good time.
Yeah. And you talk about Cooler being in close to match point top 5. Well, right ahead of them is Navi in 4th with 45 points. And I believe they got both of those kills on Cooler, so that should put them at 47 points. 3 kills away is Navi from getting to that match point threshold. Gambit was 4 kills away, or 4 points away coming into this match as well. New Esports 5 points overall, so we'll keep an eye on those teams. And we also got to keep an eye on the team with the target on their back right now. It's flavor of the month, and interesting here is going to be their rotation. I'd love to actually pull up the telestrator if we can and talk a little about the rotation that they're making all the way from Lava City. As you see on screen here, they're rotating late, right? So you'll see they're going to rotate as a pretty typical rotation from Lava City all the way through. And they're going to have to rotate all the way. And actually, I did not mean to let me clear that out here if I can. They're going to have to rotate all the way through Sorting Factory, and they're going to want to just hug this left side or south side of the map, and they're going to want to slow play their rotation, avoiding any fights. They're going to continue to play edge with Gibraltar. That's what you expect to kind of post up here around Harvester in this area once they finalize that rotation, but they might run into a team right below them here. They got to be a little cautious as we pull gameplay back on screen here.
And now on board with Alliance, currently on the edge of the zone. They do have the high ground of this rock. This is a great rock to hold. A lot of teams do prefer to hold this rock. And does it look like, so it looks like they're still running that Revenant comp. They're not off that Revenant comp just yet. But they do have triple takes in hand. They have the high ground. They have an opportunity to get some kill points here because they surely do need them.
Yeah, and Alliance just popped the ultimate moments ago as well to try to take an early fight, and ended up not happening here. Meanwhile, Flying Camels, who's been dropping in Skyhook and very, very aggressive in early games, playing Revenant this game. I don't think they've been rocking Revenant every single game so far, so that's a switch up. It's not looking good for them. Speaking of Revenant, Atrocity's going to be the last member alive. He gets taken out from the other team coming. It's Australis from the Middle East and Africa region. Kudos to them. They win that 3v3.
Congratulations to them. They got the 3 kill points, but now we're moving on to Flavor of the Month. Our only team that has the 50-point threshold and beyond the 50-point threshold. They're pinging out where they want to rotate to. And we switched on to Reply Totem Esports. They've got shots on top of them with the charge rifle. And they're pinging them out. Do they know it's Flavor of the Month? Do they want to make sure they want to take them out in this game? They surely could tell perhaps by the skins, but they're going to go back because they don't want to risk their game just to destroy someone else's.
And the whole lobby knows that Flavor of the Month drops over towards Lava City on the southeast side of the map, so they might be aware here. And then, like you said, girl, the skins might call it out as well. Let's go this way. But we'll see if they decide to push. It's not until you kind of have that full certainty that you're going to go all in and grief. And it looks like instead, they're just going to play it slow. They're going to keep their head in a swivel. Let's go ahead and actually jump into a listen with Reply Totem Esports to hear what their comments are like.
Go left up here. Go left up here.
Okay. Wait. I'm not sure.
Okay, we need scan for this. If you have it.
No, team here. Trapping.
Oh. Okay, get the. Is the house free?
Yeah, I don't have scan now.
Okay, wait. That's fine.
I might have to.
We can go first in here.
I'm safe here, sure.
I'm coming to you.
Careful traps, careful traps.
No, not come.
Okay, come.
I'm coming.
Okay. We could do one thing. Go
Give me armor, give me armor.
One must blue anyway.
Do what? You wanna do what?
No, we could go inside the cart.
Okay, in the cart, bro. Yeah, the problem is that if it's not under, we're dead.
I know.
What do you mean?
If it's not pulling staging and it's pulling like here or some shit.
Yeah, but what are we gonna play late game?
I mean, we're not that dead. I think we should go now.
Yeah.
No.
Fuck. Okay.
Mercy.
I can't. He's on top.
They're getting shot. I got shot by the team. I'm trying to come inside.
I'm raising cover.
There you have it. It's going to be a great pick from Flavor of the Month on the flank right there. Brilliant stuff that we just saw. Getting the quick pick, the team firing. I have been mind blown by the team firing from Flavor of the Month. They have been on point, that chemistry, the fact that they've been a team for over 2 or 3 years as a trio really shows here, girl.
It surely does, and the fact that, you know, you might not have the best armor and you're sniping, you're standing still, it just leaves it open to a team to 3-2 you. And what I mean by 3-2-1 is they all shoot at the same time, get a really fast knock on you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
One of the best teams to do it, Flavor of the Month. formerly Virtus Pro, a team that's been actually competing as a trio together since before Apex Legends even came out. They were playing PUBG together, switched over, fell in love with Apex immediately when the game dropped, and easily the longest lasting team in competitive Apex history. So if you're a fan of a team that is loyal, consistent, stays together, grinds their way as a trio, you're definitely a fan of this Flavor of the Month squad. One of the few teams early on that were signed and were not full-time, actually. They were still working full-time jobs. Now they are full-time, and it's certainly showing their improvements event over event. Starting to get more consistently and starting to be consistently great is this Flavor of the Month squad. I've been very impressed as we now jump on board with Ford Gang, a new squad to ALGS, their debut in the playoffs here in a major ALGS event. We'll see what they can do as we jump on board with a team that's certainly been here before in Scars.
哇！再另一隊打。
Scars really nice
FOTM
beating
應該
by RPR, one of the
低咗喺度，寫
best
FOTM
players in the game.
push 完又俾人 push 啊
16 on a red Evo shield, so they're not going to capitalize off that because they have really nice armors to work with here. And on board with Flavor of the Month, going to try and gatekeep here. 36 damage on blue armor. That's going to be called out. The Arc Star goes through, but nothing after that. They're going to be safe in their building right now. There's just so many teams around getting picks. RPR actually goes down to ASCII in the kill feed, as I saw from 303 Esports. The Arc Star is going to come out, but oh my goodness, he's just taking so much damage from behind that he just can't get that poke that he wants. Paradise actually going to go no armor. He gets the finish. He's going to phase right back into cover. His teammates are going to have to protect him as he pops a battery here. Yep, he's going to pop that battery even though he's the gold shield. It's going to be faster than popping 2 cells. The battery goes off and they've got themselves some kill points. And take a look here. Third impact. Trying to get angles on Cooler in the back.
Okay, we're from 303. Currently not faring very well in the standings, though. 16th place with 13 points. They're going to need a big game here if they want to try and inch their way to that top 5, that top 10, or potentially match point if we go the distance here in this tournament. Match 5 right now. Flavor of the Month still alive with an opportunity to close it out, but going to be tough for them to do so. Beautiful overhead camera, and free cam is going to show you what we see exactly on screen. Cooler still has Sir Dell alive. Kick down to 2 members, and we got the Flying Camels, Reply Totem, and Scars all out of this one, which means we still have Gambit, we still have Navi alive and well for an opportunity to reach match point and join the likes of Flavor of the Month. New Esports alive as well.
It's going to be hard for Sir Dell to survive in that zone for much longer. 37 seconds, and it's just going to hurt a little bit more. Hardeki going to portal in, trying to find a safe spot on this bridge, and he actually does find some carts that are open. The thing about finding a cart on the train tracks is that a team from above, like Fenerbahce, for example, could peek down from above and shoot them. But oh no, Pinky Finky takes way too much damage here. He's Octane. He's going to jump pad out and heal up. He still has 10 seconds before the zone starts closing in.
Fenerbahce, our Turkish team, have been competing for quite some time, well over a year in competitive Apex, have dominated the Middle East and Africa region, haven't necessarily found the top 5 success that they want to in Europe, Middle East and Africa, or EMEA. We'll see if they can do that, as they now are keeping an eye on this team that's right in front of them. Opportunity to take this 3v3 fight if they want to, but keep in mind at this point in the game, if you take a 3v3, expect that to be a 3v3v3, as you're going to get third party certainly in this late game.
Draconian taking in some damage. He's going to have to heal his blue armor back up, and he's doing it slowly with some shield cells because the dome is just going to cover them for a little while longer. They're going to try going backwards because they don't feel like they're in the best position, but they've just got no place to go. Ryan going down in 1 second here, and that is it for Fenerbahce. Nessie picking up some major kill points here. They've got the building to hold. They've got areas to look down on. 303 just underneath them. Gambit to the left, and they're going to be safe for now, but they've got a bit of a rotation to go.
And they got the Loch Ness Center, the official Loch Ness Center in Scotland on their side as well. So what better of a fan base could you have? On board now with 303. Minute 30 seconds till this ring is going to be closing. 303 finds themselves in a skirmish right in front of them. Team directly north. While 7, 8, 9, a team currently in 7th place, faring pretty well. Excited to see what the 7, 8, 9 squad can do. An all CIS squad, or mostly Russian squad. Let's go ahead and show the CIS some love. Let's jump into a listen-in with 7, 8, 9.
ниже встать, если прям вообще плохо будет. Нас тренеры булят, осторожно.
Я хилюсь.
Окей. Крипт тут только один, может нам в принципе подосрать, но я не думаю, что классно прям.
Короче, тут фулл-спад стоит, который будет нас душить, который будет забираться вот на эту хуйню и пытаться...
Да, забей. Не привлекай внимание его.
Пытаться нас душить. Вот там уже встали челы. Их ебут. Ебите их. Да, там лоу пиздец. Купол дали. Есть сломать? Там 303, по-моему.
Не-не.
Ульты у тебя нету?
Нет, есть. Над нами прям топают.
Да, осторожно. Ладно, пока не надо сдавать, смотрите просто пизда.
Нас растянили челы с моста. Могут упасть, Эля, осторожно.
Да, я понимаю.
Да, открыто под них. Можно на меня встать, тут в принципе сейф.
Там, короче, челы стоят и снизу челы ебутся.
Я думаю, похуй, надо главное заротейтиться. Над нами прям челы, и они нам могут очень сильно насрать.
Вот тут лежит.
Где она?
Да, нам надо вниз заротейтиться, смотрите.
Эти челы вот тут, смотри, они пол в дерьме тоже. 44 гиба.
ТП, ушли.
ТП вот тут сюда на бины привели.
Эти все еще там
Беливер,
стоят.
смотри спину. Мы этих смотрим.
Какую спину? Вот эту?
Да.
Да, смотрю.
Тут рефа золотой, 40 дал.
Челы принимают у нас.
Бегут.
У нас на бинах и под нами, по-моему, еще ТП открыли.
Окей.
Вот тут прям, под нами прям сквад фулл стал, если что. Вот тут фулл фраги. Над нами мост, осторожно.
Я смотрю, помогай Беливеру.
Я хаем даю туда.
Я то 5 дал, блядь.
There you have 7, 8, 9 in a perfect opportunity to gatekeep. They're actually right above Flavor of the Month. They can end the tournament, or end the game, sorry, for Flavor of the Month. You'll see, look at this beautiful cam. Shows you 4 teams within the distance. Navi, a team that's in striking distance, 7, 8, 9 as well. And Flavor of the Month right below them, girl.
And they may take a look to see if they can get a knock underneath them. A very nice spray by Taylor, but 789 shooting from right above. So third party underneath. Pierre is deciding on using the dome, yes or no. No, he's gonna save it. It's very important to save or use your skills when you absolutely need to. So he held that in there, as a pro player would do, and they've got 50 seconds to move in. This is going to be a tough zone. They've got a team underneath. They've got a team above. I think they even got a team above the team above them. You know what I mean?
Girl, honestly, if you're Flavor of the Month right now, it's actually a viable strategy to not get any knocks, to not get any kills, because as soon as you get a knock, everyone knows it's you. You're going to get focused. You're going to get pushed. And that's why I think you saw Flavor of the Month decide not to take that 3v3 on 303, because they would have got third party right after. Wise decision, but they're not in the best spot here, girl. It's going to take a bit of a miracle for Flavor of the Month to survive with so many teams nearby, but this is the perfect situation. It looks like Navi and Nessie are going to fight each other. If 789 joins that fight, that's an opportunity for Flavor of the Month to avoid some carnage here, but no, as I say that, Piet, Noth both go down. It's not looking good for Flavor of the Month.
And they are out. There will be no tournament ending after this game, but moving on to Nessie here. Using the dome for cover from the Gibraltar defensive bombardment. They have a few armor swaps around them. They're in a really good spot. They've got the high ground. They're pinging out. They've got some places to shoot at. And oh my goodness, free kill points coming in the portal. And that is 7, 8, 9 out. Nessie, could they win this one off?
They're in a good position to do so. There were 15 squads alive before round 5 closed. It's been like a war zone. So many teams nearby. Now we got Nessie. Third impact within distance. NCD, third party from afar, and NCD's going to be tagged up quite a bit. They will survive with this 3v3 fight. So NCD, if they can heal back up, they are going to be alongside the other 4 squads remaining. We know one of them is Nessie. I don't know, and actually on the far right, you see Navi still alive and Gambit still alive, so that should be enough. If they can continue to survive, Gambit gets taken out. But if Navi can get a few kills here, that will be enough for Navi to make it to match point. I think they're going to be looking good here, girl.
Navi only needed 5 points from this game. I believe they've got it as a top 4 squad. They're going to have trouble getting into the zone here. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to climb that mountain, but I'm sure they're going to try. They got Nessie right above them. This is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. Do they have a Horizon? Nope, they do not. They just have a Wraith, Gibraltar, Crypto. So
個20幾秒啫喎。
Yeah, good luck. You see Crypto just hanging out, chilling, getting some intel, trying to figure out how in the world they're gonna rotate here. And you gotta think that's gonna be all she wrote for that squad here momentarily, but we'll see what they can do with nothing. Meanwhile, Nessie is in a pretty good spot, but keep in mind at the top left of your screen, you'll see exactly where the ring is going to be collapsing to. It's not always the center of the circle. It's in different places every time. Right now, it just happens to be in the center of the circle, so the ring will be collapsing momentarily. And there's the rotation that comes damage because they had to walk through the ring. It's not looking great for them. Navi still alive in a great position here. They've already got enough points for match point. Right now, and there's that Pathfinder benefit. Just able to swing his way back to life and back to some protection here.
That was an amazing thermite by Maxtrave. Very well played.
That's free.
They use their dome. They don't have the advantage of people because there's only 2 men, and so they go down. Whole squad shooting at them. Is this Nessie's game? It's a 2v3 here. 2 squads left. Breakthrough goes down. Mini's last one alive, and oh my God, NCD just wiped the entire lobby there. They got so many kills. Congratulations to them on winning game number 5.
Absolutely. I never thought I'd say this in a professional broadcast in my life, but congratulations to Nuggets, Crumpets, and Dolphins for winning game number 5. Well played from them. OG Dolphin has certainly been here before as a competitor. Top coach, actually the coach of TSM alongside Dad's controller player Co. They look great in that one. They picked up a few kills as well. They weren't necessarily sitting in a great spot in the leaderboards. They were in 11th place with 20 points, but we still got a lot of gameplay left here, girl. That might be enough for them to break into the top 5 and then potentially
呢場係中段好睇啲啊。
but that's going to be it for us.
因為4、5隊喺嗰個位嗰度點樣去處理
？We'll find out as we throw it back to Kate and T Squared at the desk.
So crazy.
And thank you so much, Girl and Fallout and Tom. This is always the time during our finals when we start to become mathematicians, and we do it so quickly. I, of course, will never be a mathematician, but I can say that we have seen some incredible gameplay. And I gotta tell you, I know that there's a lot of people who are Dolphins from far. We'll see what happens here, but that was an incredible moment to seemingly come out of nowhere here in our final zone.
Game 快完咗，NAVR 上翻嚟喎。頭先贏係 NCO， 唔係 NCD，sorry，NCD。贏完哇11個 Q 之後就上翻嚟第6。其實都係差10零分，基本上是但一場冠軍就跳上。反而 Kula 慘啊，真係 Kula 殺得太少啦，平均。冇殺過就收皮。
Armor swaps with this train car cover and amazing shots right there just opens up the rest of the map. They have everybody trapped inside the corner.
哇！嚟緊呢3場係好睇，因為嚟緊呢3場其實 NEW、NAVI 同 FOTM 稍為個排名同殺數少啲或者早死啲就已經俾對方過。其實 NESSY 即係 Lassie 都基本上佢遲死個 FOTM 就有機會就已經即係喺 Game 6度過翻，即係 Lassie 會過翻 FOTM 頭。其實13分好快就攞到。頭4。唔係應該話頭6都喂頭7啊，頭7都好刺激啊！入嚟講粗口係好有禮貌喎 ，WW2 都有禮貌喎。無端端講粗口做咩咧？有咩幫到你咧？
Find out who is match point eligible because that's of course the one number everybody's looking for here, and of course, oh there, that is nice, Tom. 2 double digits. Well done, Nessie and Nuggets and Crumpets and Dolphins.
And the most important thing to note too, though, Navi and Gambit.
所以入嚟留個言好威喎。
Absolutely huge. 789 not able to get and do a lot of damage, but they're still pretty close. They're within a little bit of striking distance. Taking a look at some more numbers and some more stats. Overall, right now, Dolphin is the overall damage leader, actually second behind Max Strafe.
準備 Game 6啊，我哋
absolutely insane. No one even close in terms of kills. It's Artico and Noth with 15.
有咩幫到你咧？
That is your top 4 teams.
未見過你嘅喎 ，WW2。
And look at all these teams that are really close as well. Cooler 789. NCD all of a sudden out of nowhere after that game is in the running, and Nessie only 3 points behind. Don't count the rest of these squads though. Reply Totem Esports, Top Dogs, anything could happen here, but all eyes on these 4 teams going into the next game.
The floodgates are open now, Tom. Flavor of the month, Navi, New Esports, Gambit Esports. These are the 4 teams that, if they win this next game, they will be champions of our winner's circuit, and everyone else will have to fall into 2nd through 20th. So there you go there. Prizes on the line.
NEW Sport.
Glory on the line. Guts to be seen. We'll take a look actually at some of the guts we saw here in game number 5. And I love that we start this perspective over in the 303 Esports camp. They had a pretty good beginning to their game. And then...
Yeah, and that's what happens though, is once you start to get all this momentum,
再炸，黐孖筋㗎嗰度。
Everything is just so congested, Kate. It's very hard to get away with winning any fights because the third and fourth parties are just going to come out of nowhere. So Nessie's over here trying to finish it off, and it's not very uncommon for teams just to stack up behind those.
咩 apex competitor 即係咩意思啊 ？apex competitor 即係咩意思？
And obviously NCD has the best spot. Just look at this.
我有打 apex 嘅，但係 competitor 係咩意思啊？
Down into the middle. No one is able to get a big bubble down. It doesn't seem like many players had utility. Otherwise, we just saw defensive bombardments. There wasn't any crypto ultimates. We didn't see any caustics. Again, I believe there's only 2 caustics in the lobby, so no one was able to get that into the end game. But NCD, they were sitting at the very bottom for quite some time. Now all of a sudden, they're just within 1 game away from possibly hitting that threshold.
淨係玩 apex 唔係咁又唔係，槍 game 係咯，但係我唔係所謂會玩埋其他 FPS 槍 game 嘅玩家咯。如果淨係以槍 game 嚟講，我係淨係玩 apex 嘅。 但係其實我都有，即係如果你問我就，咁當然都有玩其他 game 啦。
That could be as well, but either way, super fans reunite. Bring us a video. Send us a video of who your favorite player is and why. And we may even feature it on our upcoming ALGS Championship broadcast. We want to use that hashtag.
你係問 Michael Jordan 咩國家，定係問我係咩國家
？Who are you a super fan of? Let's find out. Send us your videos. We want to see. Tom, who are you?
我講得廣東話都唔使。 問我係咩國家啦
Well, with that in mind, it feels only right that we toss it over to 2 other people we're big fans of, and then of course would be our cast.
你哋講緊而家呢個 apex 比賽係咩國家
Think the next game can top the action we just saw? Find out after this quick 3.
Be right back in 3 minutes.
There's 2 teams. There's 2 teams. 2 teams. Pushing me. Just come back. Come back. Scanning. 2 teams above us. It's 2 teams. They're gonna have to
咩啊 ？Michael， 你講緊 NBA 嗰個 Michael Jordan 啊嘛？呢個世界可能唔止一個 Michael Jordan 嘅，你問邊個 Michael Jordan 先？你係講美國 NBA 已退休籃球之神 Michael Jordan 啦，定係其他 Michael Jordan？
I got blocked. Dead. Nice. Watch left.
Michael Jordan 咩國家？美國咯。
No. We need to go now. Come.
好難唔知嘅喎。你問一個咁簡單嘅問題，你咪仲 online？ 你唔好問習近平係咩國家。
Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the Apex Legends Global Series. Lenovo Legion, gaming PCs that are stylish on the outside.
你問呢個問題就已經搞笑啦，唔係鬧完人，然之後講對唔住就一定原諒你㗎。
Global Series.
From outside. Who would know what lies beneath? Unleash it with a machine as savage as you are.
問清楚好啲，講真，點知你講咩啊？一陣間答錯你又喺度鬧人就唔好啦，梗係要問清楚啦。哦。係咪未有收入住？冇所謂，有冇收入我都唔係太過介意嘅 YouTube。咁如果你問我而家嘅就唔會有收入住嘅係 YouTube， 但我又唔係真係好介意喺 YouTube 有冇收入咁樣，因為我都唔係全職，開 YouTube。好串咩？我好有禮貌喎。你入到嚟爆晒粗，我都冇鬧返你喎，咁我都叫好串咩
？Hi everybody, my name is Swordaz. I'm the general manager at Sword Gaming. Very passionate about Apex, play competitive, shoutcast, and also create a lot of guides for you guys to all enjoy. I actually started YouTube and Twitch just for fun. And I was creating montages because I saw a really old montage for a different video game first-person shooter, and I said I really loved how it inspired me. So I made my first montage because of how it made me feel and inspired to play the game, hoping that it would inspire others. And recently with Apex Legends, I said, you know what? Everyone's always coming by my streams and asking me the question, how do I get better? How do I get better? And I said, you know what? Why don't you just post it on YouTube? I love to teach players how to get better.
因為我呢個 channel 間唔時係有啲唔知咩人入嚟係會咁樣，即係你唔係第一個嚟嘅，所以我就冇乜太大嘅嗰個叫咩啊？啲太大反應嘅，係因為你已經唔係即係唔係第一個類似咁樣嘅人。即係所謂，即係一入嚟就可能講粗口，或者嚟鬧你啊，或者諸如此類，或者甚至嚟搞事啊咁你都唔係第一個嘅，咁所以我就冇太大反應嘅。咁我都唔會因為你留個言喺度講粗口，我就要鬧你嘅。
You have to be the first one to make a step. You have to be the innovator.
即係你問我嘅話，我直接 block 咗你會好過我鬧你咯。即係咁講，如果真係要嘅話，我直接 block 咗你咪得。使乜動氣去鬧咧咁樣？咁如果大家傾到偈咁咪傾咯。哦，即係你都有玩 Apex 嘅。不過我就唔係 PC 咯，我唔知你係咪 PC 啦，我唔係 PC 嚟嘅。不過就唔好係咁喺度講粗口啦，我呢個台好健康，普遍觀眾都唔會係咁講粗口，即係咁講。你可以講咯，不過你可以唔打咯。你可以用個口講，但係你可以唔好打字打粗口。不過咁夜就冇乜所謂啦，咁夜都冇人。即係如果真係有其他唔同嘅觀眾喺度，就唔係咁好咯。始終有啲好細個嘅會睇啊，間唔時。All have been able to get to those late game scenarios. There's a big chance we might find our win here in game 6. 係啊，即係我又唔係話完全反對嘅，不過只係唔好太多啫，即係喺呢個台，即係所謂喺個 chat room 度嘅話。咁但係而家就冇乜太大所謂嘅，而家都冇人咁夜，大家瞓晒覺啊，正常咯。You're completely right. Just look at the stats and the points that have got on the board for this chasing pack. You've got Nessie on 47 points. 你 PC 啊嘛，你 PC 定係 console 先
Still very difficult for me to say that on 43 points, 42 points for 789.
我 PS 咁我都係 PS。我上季鑽石咯。
You said there might be 6 or 7 teams. There could be 10 teams who could be on match point if that top 4 does not get it done in this game number 6.
There could be, especially when you look at even a little bit lower.
咁你犀利啲喎。
They could find their way there. Totem Esports with a big game could also find themselves on match point. So I think you've got.
不過我主要都係單排咯，我就單排為主嘅。
You need to get the job done now because the more people that you invite into match point, the less likely you are to find the victory. And of course, as soon as more and more teams get match point eligible, position is going to matter. Where you finish, that prize money that is on the line. Okay, everyone's gunning for number 1, everyone wants to be the winner, but you've also got to think about second place, third place, fourth place. All these things got to be considered.
They do indeed, and I'll tell you what, I just want to get straight into this game. I don't want to talk anymore. I don't want to build it up. There's nothing more that I need to say, because as we know, this could well be the final game of the day for the EMEA region. Who knows? It could go on another 4 or 5 games with how decisive these points have been split up between all these different teams. Who knows? We could be here tomorrow. We could be here on Wednesday, for all I know. But I've got a feeling down in my, inside that this is going to be the final game here. We've got 4 teams who could get it done. I just want to get into this one.
I just want to see where the circle is going to be pulling, because that's going to very much determine where and who is going to be in that final circle. Flavor of the month, for example.
我而家金牌啫嘛，啱啱下賽季我都未正式打上去。上半季就啱啱白金1咯，剩翻嗰幾日衝唔到上轉，停咗喺白金1咯。上季就鑽石咯，即係 Season 7嘅時候。睇下下半季過多幾日會唔會開始衝上轉咁咯。我咪話你犀利啲，你本身鑽石咁下半季嘅話，你都升得幾快喎？如果係咁。
World's Edge pretty early on, and we're actually going to be watching the point of view of Navi.
打唔到上去咁睇下你本身你係單排定係3排咯，即係你係有 friend 一齊同你排上去啦，定係你自己本身打上去咯。同埋本身你係即嗱，我唔知啦，我冇同你打過，亦都冇睇你打過啦。咁我就唔係好叻嘅，即係你問我槍法，我唔係啲好勁槍法嗰啲人。 即係反而我就係因為我唔勁槍法啦，咁所以我主要可能喺觀念啊、走位啊嗰啲嘅push 與唔 push 嘅決定咧，我就會好啲嘅，會比較。但係你話如果對槍嘅話咧，我就唔係啲好準嗰啲嚟嘅。 即係間唔時都會拍下槍嗰啲 friend， 或者射唔中人嗰啲嚟。咁但係觀念上面咧，我會覺得自己唔差嘅觀念上，因為可能睇得多比賽啊，自己打啊、分析啊各方面會好啲。但係你話槍嘅技術就本身唔係特別好嘅，所以我單排上，我覺得我上到去，即係譬如上半季去到白金1嘅時候，我上唔到轉，我都覺得有啲位，即係我都會檢視，有啲位唔係打咁好，即係其實又唔係差好多分嘅，不過就算啦，唔打啦，即係去到。 會主動夾人咯，會主動夾人嘅，但係我唔會貿然開打。即係但係我唔會龜咯，即係我唔係水轉咯，即係俗稱水轉嘅就係龜上去啊嘛。我唔龜，我唔會打到好龜，好悶啊！如果打得龜，不過因為單排嘅關係，咁好多時啲隊友都死晒啦已經，咁你死晒得翻自己一個咪要龜咯。但係正常你話 full team 3個喺度嘅，我普遍都唔龜。 但係又唔會好魯莽咁去 push 睇情況咯，睇位置咯。啱位嘅咪打咯，唔啱位嘅咪走啱位先再打咯。龜嘅話攞唔到分嘅喎，上白金，即係我嘅意思，白金上轉攞唔到分嘅。
A semi-decent game here from Cooler, and like you're saying, it could be a case of the 2 players we were mentioning.
同埋呢隻 game 龜係好悶嘅，其實，因為我唔知其他人啦，但係 for 我嚟講係好悶啊，大佬呢隻 game 龜嘅話。
Just having a little look at the overhead map and seeing that Navi have maneuvered their way down to thermal station nice and early. So either they're going to be able to find some real estate, or they'll be taking a fight with Alliance very early on. So they need to be a little bit careful that they don't get pinched. And they might be able to find themselves in a building that can get them towards that late game with the chance of winning this entire tournament. They have found this little compound, but there are going to be a couple of teams around them. Alliance in thermal and also another team coming slightly north from where they have just arrived from.
Yeah, we saw this zone, we've seen this zone, quite a few times, potentially pulling towards that choke that you can see just at the very top left. As you can see, of that second circle that's lit up by the beacon. So that's going to be kind of prime real estate, and this is where the fight is going down at the moment. Nessie on one of those teams who are involved.
你而家轉4嘅話都打得幾快喎，咁即係本身你 start 係白金啦，咁你應該都唔係大師就頂獵嘅咯喎。如果你而家已經轉4嘅話，因為你轉4正常你應該白金開始打啦，係嘛？ 咁白金開始打本身你應該頂獵或者大師嚟嘅咯。
Peppered some shots across just to be a nuisance, and it has worked out perfectly for them. But now Nessie under a little bit of fire after winning that fight. They have to try and get the armor swaps and escape. Graceful's done well to get a quick swap.
或者你一日打20個鐘，如果唔係正常冇咁快上到轉石。
But it's always difficult as a Gibraltar.
Yeah, and they're getting harassed at the moment. You can see the third party trying to come in alliance, also trying to feed on the scraps that are left over from that initial battle. And good shots here from Hackies are going to break some shields, but not get any knocks. 0-0's going to be in the feed and finishing it off, matey. So, I mean, big moments as far as the tournament overall is concerned in just a few moments of this game.
This choke point is just
都幾炸啊！比賽有呢個組合，其實係幾炸。但係一夜就俾人掉啦。
Proving too easy for them because the nades coming from different directions. Both Navi and Alliance really wanted to get involved.
比賽有亡靈都真係。
So they're just sitting back and they're just firing from a distance at the moment, whilst Alliance just need to keep away from them.
Yeah, Navi are just happy bystanders at the moment. You see Kuya's trying to get a little bit aggressive, maybe see if he can pick up some KP just to take out some of the teams that are chasing and make this area as secure as possible. But Alliance have managed to stabilize here. They've managed to get those heals off, which is obviously great news for them. But Navi at the moment, this is the perfect game for them. They've got an early rotation. They've taken the compound. They're comfortable, and they're seeing teams who are also on match point around them full early on inside that first couple of battles that have gone on here on World's Edge. So Navi in a great position. And you have to say also the likes of Gambit, Flavor of the Month, seeing that kill feed light up with new esports falling early. Great news for them.
Fantastic news for them. That's what you're always going to have one player just keeping a keen eye on that top right hand side of the screen so that you know where your rivals are placing. Are they being knocked? Do you need to kind of peek out and add shots if they are nearby? All these different things that are added into the equation as Flavor of the Month are making their way towards this circle as well, but they are going to come into a little bit of a choke. And their armor's okay, a few blues to work with, but there are some sniper shots raining down on them.
Yeah, got to be careful here, Flavor of the Month. You see them trying desperately not to show presence. Flavor of the Month just want to try and make a comfortable as possible rotation.
唔開心喊出嚟舒服啲嘢喊咯。我會極之建議你喊咯。
Match point now. The same can be said with Navi at the moment, although I'm sure the
唔使唔好意思
shots that they've been firing across the battlefield at the moment, that people will know where Navi are holed up at the moment. So it's just a game of chess at the moment for the teams that are.
既然你咁坦白，咁我都咁坦白咯，所以。
It's wonderful to see.
It is wonderful to see indeed, and I think we mentioned it just coming into this game. There are so many teams who are close to match point. Nessie on 47, Nuggets on 43, 789 on 42. That is not difficult to achieve that points total for some of the best teams in this region. Whether it's just a few KP and a somewhat good position, or just a good placement position to work with and not necessarily worrying about the KP. It's all there and it is available for several of these teams. But Gambit, of course, have a fantastic chance of also winning this tournament, but are they going to be in a good spot? It looks right now, they're pretty cozy.
Pretty cozy for now. This is going to be a really interesting ring
並非啊，睇下你用咩嚟定義咯。
minutes time to decide who is in the better position. You look at Nessie at the moment, and somehow they managed to get back into this fight. Mady, unfortunately, won't be joining them, but they are comfortable at the moment. They're one of the teams who only need 3 points to get into a position to find themselves on match point, and a cheeky spot here from JMW, just sat up on the rafters, doing a little bit of inspecting of the insulation. And he's going to be a nasty surprise to anyone who does enter that door without checking all of their angles. But Totem Esports as well, they're currently down in 9th place, 39 points for them, 11 points they need from this game to get onto match point. There's so many different factors. Every single team has their own story to follow at the moment, and it just makes it compelling watching.
And if we bring up the overhead quickly, we can have a look at why this circle is pretty difficult for a lot of the teams to rotate into, because there's just so many choke points that they have to worry about. You've got the initial ones here and here getting inside, and we can even see Flavor of the Month down in this position. They really are trying to push their way into Thermal, but they're struggling because there's several teams around them.
1隊、2隊、3隊、4隊、5隊、6隊、7隊、8、9隊喺附近，誇張。圈內都做咗2隊，3隊圈內。It's crazy.
And I was talking about that ring pull as well, and we've just been given a great indication of it there. As we can see, Flavor of the Month are actually trying to make their move and their rotation. They're going to play the low ground and try and rotate into Thermal Station here, but it is pulling towards the actual station itself. So the teams like Cooler, the teams like Na'Vi, and team like Flavor of the Month, all 3 of these teams are going to have to make their way across. And for Na'Vi, who are probably thinking, hey, we got a pretty good rotation here. We've got some pretty good real estate. All of a sudden, things have changed for them. They now need to make a very, very tough move.
Flavor of the Month did so well to get into the center of Thermal, just kind of avoid everyone that was holding any sort of choke point. They managed to just slip through like a slithering snake, and now they can just wait here and reside. It is a dangerous area where they currently are because you can be shot from the ridge just above them. They need to make sure they don't get spotted, but I think a Crypto Drone did just have a little gander and spot them out. So it's whether Na'Vi recognize who this is below them, because that is going to be one of the teams they are competing with for this match point.
I mean, you look at the teams that are in that area. You've got Gambit, you've got Na'Vi, you've got Cooler. I mean, all of these powerhouses just trying to fight for a little bit of space in around a couple of minutes' time. They're all going to be forced to make a rotation or engage with each other and see who comes out on top. But Totem Esports at the moment, they're fairly comfortable. They're approaching from the southern side of World's Edge here, and you can see they're just kind of overlooking all of the action that will be going down around the station area of Thermal Station. And they've got a lot of ground to work with as well. You can see that Amazi's kind of overlooking tree here and just checking their back and making sure that that's clear. There's no one late rotating on them, and they've got all of this area to play at the moment.
Ooh.
Crypto Ult is going to be popped onto Kick Esports. It means they're going to have to engage here and take this fight, but it looks like Dense is going to get taken down. And a lot of teams just scrapping in this particular chokehold. And you're right, there is a lot of vantage points that we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of teams that are just residing in those chokes, which is why I'm entirely surprised that Flavor of the Month were able to sneak through. It looked like there was going to be no way that they could find a safe passage, but we have to congratulate them, really, for being able to find a successful way in.
Kick have managed to find their way inside of the circle as well. However, Seaback is going to have to pop a bat, and so is Denze as well. As you can see, they're being pressured at the moment. That team is trying to push on them. The Arcstar indicator isn't going to hit, but it's going to initiate the push for this team as well. Gibby's going to come in, and he's going to do damage. Denze's going to drop Jacko, last player alive. Gibby, 1v1 in this situation. Spray is not going to find its target. And it was once again Third Impact who come in, but then another third party comes in, and that's not the first time that we've seen Third Impact almost wiped immediately, having one fight.
Yeah, Top Dogs were actually the team that came out top trumps in that particular fight, and they were the ones that were getting pushed by Kick, so they did very well to just reel themselves out of that fight and then wait for the perfect moment when Third Impact had come in for the third party. As Gambit Esports have found themselves in residence, it's going to be just on the edge of this circle mark, so they don't have to move just yet, but they probably need to be thinking about where this next circle is going to be. But of course, they can gatekeep all of these teams that are trying to push towards them here in the central side of Thermal.
Great shots as well coming in from Hardeki. I mean, it almost goes without saying sometimes. Great shots from Hardeki. The sky is also blue. You can see Alliance, unfortunately, IPM was not. However, the Gibby bubble will go down, and they'll have the ultimate as well, just to create enough space to make sure that they can get that comfortable res off. And look at this Na'Vi trying to maybe get a little bit aggro onto Flavor of the Month with that portal, but it looks like a second thought came in from Na'Vi. They don't want to take that portal right now because they can see that Flavor of the Month, they occupy this area.
And I just wonder whether they know who's who at the moment. because you feel like if you get an idea that you're going up against one of the teams that is also on match point, you're tempted to try and take them out of the game, but at the same time, you don't want to sacrifice your position, and you don't want to put yourself in a spot where you can potentially get third-partied and not just ruin their game, but also ruin your own. And as we've got 3 teams left in this lobby that are match point, you are then gifting the opportunity to that third team who maybe won't be involved in the fight.
有機會嘅。
Now you're going to be pretty happy with where they currently reside, just here in the center of Thermal. They can look down on everyone, and this Kraber could do some real damage.
Let's see if the Kraber shots are going to hit. It's going to be Strafey who has it in his hands. Let's jump into the comms now with Na'Vi.
30 flash. Do we want to knock people? What do you think?
Yeah, we can.
你勁啲喎，你 carry 我喎，你轉4咯喎已經。咁你上半季至少都大師喎。如果你而家轉4嘅話，你至少大師或者頂裂喎，你勁好多喎。應該你 carry 我喎，唔係我 carry 你喎，我 carry 唔到你喎。如果你已經係轉4嘅話。
Oh my god, you fucking jump!
Be careful, please.
You died here?
I'm watching here, maybe kills.
Maybe kills here.
Crack one.
Look at this.
Oh, I cracked only one guy. Fuck, I cracked him. It's a mic kill if you hit him once.
Where?
Over here.
There's a last one there.
We're good. We're in zone.
Fucking my last bed. I have nothing.
Ending on this one, I think, no? Yeah, it should be this here.
TP on us. That's a...
Team pushing here. Cracked one. Almost knocked one.
Bloodhound low. Cracked him.
No vision.
So the Kraber not quite hitting the way that maybe Na'Vi wanted it to. A few body shots, but no knocks, no KP for them. And you can see they're not sure. Do they want to push? Do they want to commit? Do they want to play for KP? It's a difficult situation to find themselves in. But while all of this is going on, Alliance have managed to sneak their way through to a safe position here, Dan.
Yeah, Na'Vi don't need to commit to anything. They said their meds are pretty low, as it's going to be Alliance who do have to commit to something. And it's Gambit. They're on the receiving end of it as well. Haki's going big with the EVA 8. And I think that may have been the wipe onto Gambit. And that is not good news for them. Alliance, however, starting to heat up a little bit in their home territory here.
So now we have Na'Vi and Flavor of the Month, the last 2 teams alive that are
唔係貴上到唔緊要嘅，唔好做水轉有嘅。
eliminated. And Flavor of the Month at the moment, just kind of watching all of the
carry
carnage go on around them. I'm sure they're loving what they're seeing in that kill feed. And I tell you what, we'll find out for ourselves. We'll jump into a listening now with one of the teams still on match point. Flavor of the Month.
Jo, men jag tror vi får spela bara runt om här på olika ställen här bara. Vi får kolla
Kraber
runt
på
lite grann.
toppen, Kraber på
Man
toppen.
är här och grejer liksom. Men vänta, folk kommer hoppa ner här nu tror jag alltså. Den TP där ute så de kan redan hoppa ner. Jag tycker döda folk där nere. Och så länge ni vet att ingen kommer ryggen så kan ni börja komma mot mig.
Alltså jag skannar.
De fightar mycket här.
Ja, det ska vara folk där hoppar ner. Ja, han står där, jag ser han.
Han står där ja, i mitten där.
咁你唔係咪得咯？
De kommer dika på oss, de kommer dika på oss. De har Horizon. Börja komma mot mig nu, tror jag.
Okej.
De pikar lite grann. De hoppar ner nu. De kommer bakom här. De har crackar den.
Nice.
Det var ingen dom. De har Horizon. Glider ner. Crack. Åh, wow. Jag går inte på dig. Spela runt om här. Spela runt om här.
Ja, träff ut!
Måste hålla här bara.
FOTM.
Spela långt bak fortfarande. De är inte i. Du måste döda dem här bara. Rätt dumt aggro.
Knock satan!
Ett HP Horizon. Hoppa förbi. Döda.
搞掂。OK 喎，FOTM 呢場。
Spela här.
Toppen kommer fokus oss nu, de vet vart vi är.
Det är 2 lag där på den sidan.
Men det är två lag, ett lag under.
Jag kommer scanna framåt här.
OK，AVI 呢一場追唔追得翻咧 ？Cooler 都係。成隊圈內收皮。
We've just got two opposite situations at the moment. Na'Vi who are just chilling up top, and Flavor of the Month who have to just slowly creep their way into the next circle. 789 in a spot of bother at the moment as well. Shield cells will come out, and two of them are still up. Maybe they could pop the res here, but there is a team right opposite, just firing through the holes of the grate right now, hoping to hit shots.
789 who need 8 points as it stands to put themselves on match point at the moment. They're just trying desperately to survive. Tashin's body might provide some extra meds for the battery to be popped and for them to survive just a few more moments. It's a 2v2 situation on the top of this platform at the moment, but now you can see, unfortunately, Britannia shots coming in from the back, and that surely is going to be Flavor of the Month who's assisting in this fight.
They need to go for the res if they're going to do it soon. Stu was bleeding out, and looks like they might be able to get it off, which they will, and the bubble is possible for them.
Nice.
So they can reset here, 789. They need to start thinking about moving for this next circle, as do Flavor of the Month, one of our teams on match point, and they are doing some damage on those teams that are coming towards them here. They don't need the KB, but of course, any people out of the lobby means they are closer to picking up this victory. We're down to 7 squads. One of them's Na'Vi, one of them's Flavor of the Month. Are we going to find our winning team here?
So Flavor of the Month have managed to get a wonderful position for this end game as well. Most importantly for them, they cleared out the team that was on the high ground. The two teams that were fighting just a few moments ago. And now Na'Vi, they make their move out of the bubble. It's all up to Nesh here, but 303 Esports will wipe them. And now Flavor of the Month are the only team left in the lobby who could get this job done right now.
And everyone's back up to a full 3, judging by the team tracker. Flavor of the Month are just laying down the fire on the team below them. They don't want to bring too much attention to themselves. They don't want to be the focus point. As soon as they get a knock, they'll give that information to every other team as to where they currently are and where they're going to be pushing from. And it is likely teams would try and gang up on them, but some big shots coming out from Taylor. 789 will lose one member. Flavor of the Month in a good position here, Mark.
But 303 overlooking all of this that's going down at the moment. This ring pool could be absolutely massive as well, and teams will be forced to engage once again. Flavor of the Month looking very, very good as it stands. They've got to hope that 303 Alliance, who are the other team across from them, they'll have to just check in to find out who that fourth squad is. Engage in a fight before they have to get involved, but just put yourselves in the shoes right now of Flavor of the Month. Pierre, North and Taylor, they've got to be so nervous, so pressurized in this situation to not put a single foot wrong.
Cooler are also still in these last 4. They were 9 points off match point. You'd have to imagine they're going to be very close. 303 have the high ground at the moment. And of course, this is Alliance's home territory. This is where they drop. They know it like the back of their hands. So I'm sure they'll be feeling somewhat confident in this final fight as the portal from Cooler comes out to make the rotation just before this circle moves in. And it is starting to make its way in. How Flavor of the Month going to manipulate and maneuver their way through this zone.
The only issue here for Cooler is they don't have the bubble to work with. They don't have a Gibraltar. And you can see that Yuki has gone down on Caustic as well. Naski has managed to stay alive, as has the Wraith player of Sir Del. Alliance now making their move to try and finish off those 2 kills.
賺咗 FOTM 呢個位真係。
Cooler Esports, but now this is the magic moment. Flavor of the Month making their move in down.
And it's absolutely perfect because all the other 3 teams have been scrapping. They've been taking damage. They've been trying to heal up. Flavor of the Month are just watching on, and they've taken direct center of this circle. This could be the moment that they win this tournament, but they just have to play it successfully. They have to be patient here, Mark.
Shots are coming in here from Taylor, just backing off smartly. Defensive bombardment's going to be going down all around. Flavor of the Month. They know this could be their moment as another player is going to be challenging. Flavor of the Month deal with it, and now the entire lobby is trying to jump on these 3 players who are so close to calling themselves the Winter Circuit Playoff Champions. Pierre gonna pump the battery. He's got the Mastiff in hand as well. He's got Octane in front of him. This is all coming down to these final shots as Flavor of the Month move in. One for them to deal with. Can Flavor of the Month get it done as a player? Coming out nowhere and not in a 1v1 to play here for Flavor of the Month.
Nice play.
difficult when someone just
nice
comes
pay,
flying out of nowhere like that, and you could see his aim got a little bit shaky towards the end mark. He knew he had the chance to win playoffs, and it was all there with those shots.
Nice
and finally, he
FOTM.
just composed himself, hid behind the shield, and just took that breather, and that's all he needed to secure the victory for Flavor of the Month.
Give me a second. I mean, what an ending. What an ending. I mean, Apex Legends, it just keeps blowing my mind. Every single time we get to one of these big moments in a tournament, it seems like someone else, another team, just comes up with another moment of magic. Flavor of the Month, to get to where they got to take the position they got to, and then to execute at the end. They would have thought, I think, they would have thought, this is it, this is our moment, and then the player comes flying out of nowhere, and it becomes a clutch 1v1 situation. And still, to have the composure, to have the talent, the ability, everything you need to call yourself a champion. Flavor of the Month, clutch up. I am lost for words. Unbelievable. Flavor of the Month, playoff champs.
I think what blew my mind even more was that they found themselves central circle. I feel like the rest of the teams realized where Flavor of the Month were, and they all stopped shooting at each other, and they all went towards Flavor of the Month, and they were able to stop that barrage. They were able to win every single engagement that was put under their pressure, and then to come up clutch at the end. I mean, what a game. It was an absolute honor to be able to call it, Mark.
其實上次出咗波傾完之後，我唔記得俾你，我擺咗喺個。
You are a king, my friend, and you're also a playoff champion. A 1v1 clutch to close things out here. Kate and Tom, I mean, I'm lost for words.
我原本都係諗住4月尾嘅，如果你星期3嘅話，咁如果你諗住 keep 翻星期6嘅話，就可以係2堂，即係5月2堂6月2堂都 OK 嘅。
I'm shaking.
I'm so sorry.
I'm shaking. I was so nervous. That was either going down as the biggest clutch in Apex history or the biggest choke in Apex history, and Noth pulled it off. And that was not a 1v1. That was a 2v1. And the best part is, Mark goes, and there's a player flying out of nowhere, and he really was. You think the tournament's over. You think that last kill behind the box was it. No, there's still another contender flying in from the top rope, and wow, Noth was able to get it done. Congratulations, Flavor of the Month. What a tournament.
Absolutely. By the way, you should see my notes. I literally was typing Flavor of the Month got griefed, and then it happened, and I was like, what? Anyway, sorry, Dan, to our audio guy for that. I'm sure I just blew out some of these speakers. At any rate, yes, absolutely fantastic. And hey, you know what is a great idea? To watch that final moment one more time. This time,
我分數應該拋 NAVI 啦，
let's
已
take
經
a look right now at how
應該
Flavor
拋第2
pulled
名
this
啦
one out.
係咯，拋成16分啊！ Kula 冇啦 ，Kula 實得太少啦，雖然攞第4。
Nej, jag blir knockad. Vänster, vänster, vänster. De kanske får fighta. De fightar lite grann. Spela
喂，唔係8場咩？
min sida, min sida. Spela min sida, spela min sida.
做乜得 Game 6嘅喺度？
över.
哦，因為分數嘅關係。哦 ，FOTM 2場第1，一場12Q， 一場8Q， 一場第2有10Q， 黐線。
Wait, nothing? They don't crit.
Where's the
scream at the end? There's no way they were quiet after that. We must.
Maybe they muted
listen,
themselves.
Dan cut it. It was peaking. Okay, so.
2個瑞典，一個丹麥嘅朋友。
Yeah, that was amazing. They were so calm,
cool
the entire time. You know what? I have
So
so much respect
it's
for these
finished.
because they put themselves
It's finished
in the
right.
zone
It's
in
finished
that moment.
right.
When you're
It's
watching,
finished
I'm over here shaking.
right.
I'm still shaking. That's how intense that was for me. That was.
Wow. 啱啱 offline， 笑咗。
Battle with a machine that's as savage as you are. Lenovo Legion. Stylish outside, savage inside.
Listen,
6 game is finished. 好，咁就冇。
You saw it. They played like a solo
一炮過攞20 point 啊！8 Q， 第一。
They sat there and just huddled up, and then they did it again, then they did it again, and methodically made these rotations while everyone else is focused on getting.
好咁今日 ALGS 嘅歐洲賽區就完啦，6場就分咗勝負啦。So good， 咁就應該全部完晒啦，我冇記錯。琴日係 South America， 咦睇下，唔係個北美，南美打咗未啊？南美都打咗係啦，琴日打咗3個賽區，今日打埋2個賽區。Yes, is finished.
Regionals.
全部都要打 round 8，歐洲打 round 6。勁啊！
My goodness, this lobby has been stacked.
And look at all the teams that were about to hit.
係得 EMEA 打 round 6啫，犀利。
The rest of the points going to a team like 79, Cooler, and CHING. So now we were looking at possibly 8 teams going on there. When Flavor of the Month was the first team.
好，今日直播嚟到呢度啦 ，ALGS 咁就歐洲賽區，80分。
Put their backs towards the zone and forced all that action.
掌聲。
Flying cam.
最後個 pay 係 nice 嘅。 FOTM 係 nice。
It almost seemed like they were almost forming a little
one on one 嘅最後真係。
realized what was in front of them, and that was Flavor of the Month, ready to win this tournament. So they kind of like half because they had to fight each other too. It's just kind of in their instincts. So it was just a really.
咁咪聽晚先至繼續直播 apex 啦。咁如果你都中意呢啲一齊睇比賽、一齊睇嘢嘅系列嘅話，就記得俾個 like 再加埋 subscribe， 然後就話俾你身邊中意打 apex 嘅朋友，特別係 console 嘅朋友啦。咁就我哋。
Delighted that he is number one. He's number one for a reason, Tom.
He has to be feeling good right now because not only is he the MVP, he really does get the MVP for the tournament in that awesome situation at the end of Thermal Station right there. And that area on that map for Northern for Flavor of the Month is going to be special. They may even just start dropping Thermal Station after this because of the fact that's where they just won basically $50,000 and just got crowned the Winner's Circuit ALGS champions for the EMEA Super Region. So congratulations, North. Congratulations to Flavor of the Month. A great performance though from Gambit, Na'Vi. A lot of players played extremely well today.
I mean, they really did. And you know, I gotta say, one of those things I love about the way that Flavor of the Month played this is that they had to do everything right. I think even our casters were talking about it. Mark and Gaskin were talking about it when they were simply watching everybody go down. They had to hold off. They had to play it exactly. They couldn't make
出咗啦，呢度都更新咗。第一名48000 USD。
The pressure was so great, and they were in just a need to be.
差唔多40萬。
They came out on top, and
it's crazy.
Remarkable.
Cooler 最後連6都入唔到，不過都有錢，3030你追翻少少，都有成萬蚊㗎。好，下次再有呢個 apex 比賽再預告俾大家聽我哋。就係咁啦，今天是這樣子 ，That's all of today. Peace out.
Is because you're going to get punished extremely hard, extremely quickly because of the fact that all these teams want to win the tournament so badly. So if they see that they're gonna sacrifice their lives to go and take you out of the tournament. That's just how it goes because they want.
2020年，如果你要说